40% of this, sorry, if you can be within the 20 to 40% of the batch in terms of placements, you are much above most, if not all, the IIMs, apart from the ABC, which are the Goliaths, obviously. Right. So you have to take a couple of chances. Obviously, these are great colleges as well. You can look at IIM Udaipur, IIM Bodh Gaya,
And
even
so,
IIM Jammu, so on. So, yeah.
NMIMS Mumbai people lose out on the campus life and networking, hence.
Networking तो नहीं, campus का एक struggle है, हाँ, I'll be honest over here.
Right.
There's one major building which is there. The reason why I wouldn't say that they lose on a lot of it, because first year में average में 10 से 11 घंटे campus में रहता रहा.
Okay.
Right. So once you reach campus at approximately 8 o'clock in the morning, you're in campus till what? Nearly 8 o'clock in the night, man.
Right.
6:30-7 तो बज जाता था निकलते. हाँ. So I mean, you do most of your conversations, networking, hanging around and whatever over there. Yes, the cultural and all those aspects are lesser over here. I haven't seen other colleges का culture वगैरह, to be very honest. Culture in terms of, drama, natak, singing, ये सारी चीजें. It is here. I'm not saying it's not there, but I'm saying I don't see it as strong as, let's say, in a college with a huge campus. So yeah. Now before I take on any more questions, just a raise of hands when I'll take a vote. Is this how you guys would prefer today's session to be? You just bombard me with your questions and I'll try answering with the best of my capabilities. या फिर एक GDPI वाला mock करना है? What would you prefer? Hand raise करने का option पता है ना? Reactions में आता है.
Yes, sir.
बस. Just one guy?
For the GDP, I think.
You're raising your hand for Chalo, raise your hands for the mock GDP, I think. Okay, 2 people. Rest all, I'm assuming you want to do a Q&A session, as they call it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We can do both for a few minutes, GD, and then after Q&A session.
Let me just do something. There were 2 people who raised their hands.
Yes.
Manas and Sultan. So
even I raised.
3 लोग हैं, चलो. So if everyone is okay, I'll take a very quick mock PI of these people. You guys can learn from it. And
Sir, we have had a very less amount of GDs actually. We had only one class for GD. So if you can proceed with GD, that would be very helpful, sir.
Okay. So let me do something. It's 8:30 right now. 8:30 to 9 we'll have a Q&A session. Okay. And from 9 till 9:30, that's the approximate length of the class that you guys have.
Yes,
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
9 to 9:15 we'll have a GD. 15 minutes is more than enough for a GD.
Yes.
And 9:15 के बाद 3 लोगों का मैं 5-5 मिनट का इंटरव्यू ले लूंगा.
Done, sir.
That works?
Yeah.
Yes.
ठीक है. चलो जी, we have half an hour. What are the problems, doubts, confusion?
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है.
हाँ, पूछ यार.
सर आज मैं कॉलेज गया था अपने कॉलेज डिग्री लेने के लिए.
Okay.
तो कॉलेज वालों ने बोला कि 2 साल तक तो डिग्री नहीं मिलेगी, हम आपको टेम्पररी डिग्री दे सकते हैं.
Provisional.
हाँ, तो वो काम आ जाएगी क्या एडमिशन के टाइम?
Yeah, provisional चलती है. The point is, different colleges have different requirements in terms of these things, right? ये सारी चीजें बहुत clearly website पे दिया होता है कि requirements क्या है, expectations क्या है, and so on. And even if it is not clear, there's always a sort of helpline number, helpline email, something like that. Just send them this query over there. Mostly चल जाता है. The only point is जब आप join कर लेते हो तो उसमें कुछ महीने के बाद आपको ओरिजिनल देनी पड़ती है. You just told me कि दो साल तक, शायद 2 साल है 2 महीने.
हाँ, 2 साल.
2 साल तक ओरिजिनल नहीं मिलेगी, which is a unique thing probably, because I don't know, 2 साल तक तो डिग्री नहीं रोकते हैं जनरली. But drop that college an email and they should be able to let you know.
अच्छा, वो बोल रहे कि अभी जो 2021 में जिनकी हुई है ना ग्रेजुएशन, तो उनकी डिग्री आई है अभी तक.
कौन सा कॉलेज है?
जोधपुर में जय नारायण व्यास यूनिवर्सिटी करके.
अच्छा, I've seen it. ठीक है. ठीक है. इसमें कुछ हो नहीं सकता यार. You can just inform the college guys, drop them an email, let them know that this is what the issue is. Try having a mail of the same thing from like the official mail ID of your college. Correct? xyz@college.com करके email ID होगी. ये जो आपने अभी बोला है वो मेल पे रिटन में कॉलेज की जो ऑफिशियल मेल आईडी है उससे अपनी मेल आईडी पे ले लेना.
कैसे? यानी अपनी मेल आईडी से कॉलेज वालों को मेल करना है?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. नहीं, ओके. योर अंडर ग्रेजुएट कॉलेज और पीजी कॉलेज. योर कंसर्न इज अबाउट योर अंडर ग्रेजुएट कॉलेज. अभी यू आर गोइंग टू अ पीजी कॉलेज जहाँ पे आपको ये कंसर्न मैनेज करना है. और जो अंडर ग्रेजुएट कॉलेज है उनकी कुछ ऑफिशियल मेल आईडी होगी जहां से कम्युनिकेशन आता होगा, या किसी बंदे की ऑफिशियल मेल आईडी होगी, लेट्स से aakash@xyz.com. ठीक है. Now aakash@xyz.com, who's from your undergraduate college, is supposed to email you this same thing कि आपको आपकी डिग्री 2 साल के बाद मिलेगी. The reason I say this is you will have something in written. कल को यार मैं अगर तुमसे रेफ्यूट करूं कि रोहित यार तुम झूठ बोल रहे हो, सपोज, you will have something to show कि भाई मेरे पास रिटर्न में कॉलेज के ऑफिशियल आईडी से मेल है, या फिर ये बंदा मेरा लेट्स से रजिस्ट्रार है कॉलेज का, इसने मुझे मेल किया हुआ है.
अच्छा.
So that is one. Coming to the PG college you intend to join, drop them an email that this is what your concern is, and this is an email that you have from your college, and is it good enough, what exactly can be done, so they'll let you know exactly क्या है. ठीक है? Yes, Manas.
Yes, sir. So actually, I was like worried about the fact that I have my NMAT scores on the lower side of people converting. So like I have
Define
an NMAT
lower.
score of 239. So in language section it's 87, quants it's 76, and LR is also 76 only. Like according to all the websites and all, I am clearing the cutoff for NM Mumbai. However, I'm skeptical about the convert chances. So like, sir, do you have any insights on this?
Okay, so before I begin, please call me Aakash. मैं सर नहीं हूँ यार, 1-2 साल ही बड़ा हूँ हम लोगों से. Secondly, यार बहुत बॉर्डरलाइन केस है टू बी ऑनेस्ट. बहुत बॉर्डरलाइन केस है. मतलब 1 नंबर 2 नंबर से ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है, राइट? If you were to ask me to place my bet on something, I would say you're in. But बहुत मतलब अभी ऐसा होता ना कि 2 में 90 आ गया, 1 में 50 है, तो मैं बोलता कि नहीं होगा बिकॉज सेक्शनल कट ऑफ क्लियर नहीं होगा. बट सेक्शनल कट ऑफ भी जनरली 75, I don't think so, कभी 80.
This also it was 71 for LR, 69 for quants, and 76 for the language section.
Exactly. तो
So
75 तक जनरली हायर होता है, नहीं तो उससे जनरली कम ही होता है.
कभी भी 75 से ऊपर नहीं गया.
तो आई डोंट थिंक सो बहुत ज्यादा कंसर्न होना चाहिए. यू शुड बी इन.
And from the overall perspective, sir?
Overall perspective in what sense?
Like 239.
Like?
239 is my overall score, no? So like...
that's what I'm saying. So from the overall perspective as well, I don't think so there should be a problem. But see, the point is, it gets decided real time based on the scores of people around.
Right, so.
Okay. It's not like a specific number that's there every year that gets 235 above and you're in. It doesn't happen like that. Like just like in CAT, ZAT, whatever, SNAP, these numbers, they keep on changing. I would say that you should start prepping for GDPI what of NMAT as well.
Yes.
जो Watson test वगैरह होता है. But yeah, I would say if I were to give you a number, I'm like 85% sure that you're in.
Right, sir. And sir, is there any specific preparation that I should focus on for the NMAT, for the NMIMS Mumbai?
So this is not just limited to NMIMS Mumbai. This is probably applicable for every college and for everyone in this meeting right now. Let's say you have a call from NMIMS Mumbai.
Yeah.
Research about the college. Read about the college. Align your interests with the college. Let's say you are interested in consulting, right? Let's say you're interested in finance, for example.
Yeah.
अब यार finance में interested हो तो read about, let's say NMIMS has a Bloomberg lab.
Okay.
So in your interview, try talking about the Bloomberg lab. कि यार मैं finance में interested हूँ, एक add on NMIMS का ये है कि आपके पास एक Bloomberg lab है primarily, ठीक है? Try reading about a couple of finance की faculties. एक आध अलग सब्जेक्ट से देख लो, 3-4 फाइनेंस के फैकल्टीज देख लो, ठीक है? Maybe read something about their work if possible. वर्क मिल जाएगा आपको लिंक्डइन वगैरह से. अब सर्च कैसे करना है? Aakarsh Singh NIIMs, right? तो उस तरह से LinkedIn पे वो बंदा या बंदी मिल जाएगा, फैकल्टी होंगे तो भी मिल जाएंगे मोस्टली 99% ऑफ द टाइम तो मिल जाएंगे, unless they are like really old, kind of they are like 60 years old or something. We do have a couple of faculties who are great, but they've been over here for what, 30 years, 35 years or something approximately. So obviously their LinkedIn is not that updated, but mostly the faculties are very young, they are very quick and everything. So you'll have updated LinkedIn of those guys over here. Read about them, read about the work they've done. Basically try aligning whatever your interests are to the college, and try talking about the fact that this is something which this college offers, which I haven't seen in too many other colleges.
Right.
Try showing the other person that you are a well-read person. Long story short,
Right.
कि अगर मैं आपके इंटरव्यू में बैठा हूँ तो मैं रिसर्च करके बैठा हूँ, मैं बस ऐसे ही सुबह उठ के मुंह धो के नहीं आ गया.
Right.
So if you are able to do that, I don't think so there should be much of a concern about anything else, and obviously about your own self hygiene question वगैरह जो मैंने बताया.
And so Watson test, what's it about?
Yeah, Watson test, abhi I am still kind of getting an idea about it. I'll be very honest. I have asked a few people, but unless I'm very sure, I don't want to comment about it. हमारे time में what होता था? Written ability test होता था.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just confirm that. I've asked a few people who are in the department. So
Yeah.
उस पे I'll be able to. अभी Watson का I'm not very sure.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Tanushka.
Good evening, sir.
Hi.
Sir, actually, I have a question. I am not qualifying in the sectionals for CAD for any IIM, I guess.
Okay.
But I have a good percentile 96. So IMT Ghaziabad, I'm targeting for IMT Ghaziabad. So how should
Hold
I
on.
prepare for it?
Sectional cutoffs CAT के clear नहीं हो रहे हैं किसी भी IIM के.
नहीं sir, English में I have BARC में I have 99.51 percentile.
Okay.
In LRDI 67 and in Quant 61. So the sectional criteria, I'm not able to meet the criteria.
Not a problem. So you're targeting IIMT Ghaziabad.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. So what's the question?
Sir, I heard you said now you just cleared IMT as well. You had a call from IMT Ghaziabad. So what's the interview like over there?
What did I like over there of the process?
What's the interview like?
What's the interview like? Yeah, IIMT Ghaziabad will focus a lot on what your CV kind of is. Whatever data you've submitted, they will focus a lot on that. They will not, unless they find something fishy, they will not really grill you. वो basically कुछ interviews परेशान करते हैं ना यार, वो लोग परेशान नहीं करेंगे. And this is something which happens in NMIMS as well. They will give you full chance to talk about whatever data you have. So this is majorly what the interview is. आपने जो भी data submit किया, let's say we talk about a CV, right? So you've written, do you have workings?
Yes, 11 months in 2 companies, sir.
11 months. So they'll just want to know what work you've done. They would just prefer knowing that what was your impact on the organization, right? Had you not been there, would the impact still had been there, given that the position was empty, something like that. What was your takeaway? अब इसको आप MBA से कैसे लिंक करोगे? What is the value that you bring? चलो ठीक है यार, आप अच्छे कॉलेज में आ रहे हो, आप आना चाहते हो, जॉब चाहते हो अच्छी, वो सब तो ठीक है, बट आप वैल्यू क्या लाओगे हमारे कॉलेज में? These are the kind of questions that generally they ask. They intend to know more about you. I don't think so they'll grill you a lot. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Rhythm.
Hi, sir. Sir, you say that you have given a lot of interviews for IIMs, IMT, NMMS. Sir, I just wanted to ask, like, how much they ask about your academics? Because I did my graduation, and along with that, I was also working. So I don't recall any subjects. I don't recall any topics. So should I have to prepare for it?
Have some basic idea. They might end up asking you what was your favorite subject in undergrad, let's say. A question
Actually, I
might come up.
tried to study over there, but I was having I have completed my BSc from RU. So in BSc, if I say any of the subject, then there is a huge content over it, and most of them are engineers. So if I say that something is my favorite, then I'm surely getting targeted.
So that is what I'm saying, right? If the question does come up. So okay, so do you have workings?
Yeah.
How much?
So Overall, I have 3 years of WorkX, but 2 years are with the graduation, so only 1 year is getting counted into the WorkX part.
यार फुल टाइम वर्किंग कितना है?
3 साल.
फुल टाइम मतलब जिसमें आपको you have your offer letter, you have your
हाँ, सब कुछ है. Relieving letter, offer letter, salary slips.
तो
No, but
ग्रेजुएशन के
work
साथ साथ
is
कैसे 3 साल?
after graduation.
RU में ऐसी मतलब वही है. RU में ऐसी ग्रेजुएशन हो जाती है.
सॉरी,
सो कॉलेजेस ऐसी फुलफिल हो जाते हैं. खाली एग्जाम देने जाता था मैं और बाकी रेगुलर की डिग्री है.
डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन था.
डिस्टेंस नहीं था, रेगुलर ही था. तो मैं ये बोल सकता हूँ कि कोविड बैच था तो सारा का सारा वर्चुअल था, तो मैंने मैनेज कर लिया.
Okay, so the only reason I'm asking you this is
हम्म.
कई बार ओवरलैप होता है. So when I say overlap, what do I mean to say
Mhm.
is distance education में तो you're doing your job, you're doing your degree, that's okay. But then, so RU I'm assuming is Rajasthan University.
Yeah.
So, okay, so my background also is that I've worked in Jaipur for approximately
Yeah, I've seen in your LinkedIn profile, you worked for Extra Marks, Byju's, then Teleperformance. I was also working in Teleperformance.
ठीक है. तो in these places when I worked over there, Teleperformance में we used to have a couple of kids and a few young people who used to come up.
Hmm.
They were doing jobs apart from their distance education वाली degree, right? Now what I mean to say is full time degree के साथ full time job करना is I am not very sure if that's counted per se.
नहीं, वो काउंट नहीं हो रहा. बट क्या मैं उसको इंटरव्यू में शेयर करूं? और अगर मेरे पास वर्कएक्स है तो मेरे पास एकेडमिक्स के क्वेश्चन मतलब ज्यादा आएंगे, कम आएंगे, या उतने ही आएंगे?
यार बात है यार, ये हल्की सी डाइसी चीज है यार, मैं श्योर नहीं, मतलब ये टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, ये मैं बहुत केसेस मैंने सुने नहीं है ऐसे, क्योंकि जनरली लोग डिग्री खत्म करते हैं फिर जॉब उठाते हैं, राइट? सो इट गेट्स वेरी टफ टू टॉक अबाउट द फैक्ट कि यार मैं डिग्री भी कर, फिर सबसे पहले वो यही पूछेगा कि क्या आपका डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन था, एंड यू विल कि नहीं मेरा डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन तो नहीं था, मेरी तो फुल टाइम डिग्री थी, राइट? सो ही लास्ट की यार क्या आपका कॉलेज नहीं था? क्यों, कॉलेज अटेंड करना पड़ता है, ऐसे तो है नहीं कि आप जाके जॉब करोगे. अब नाउ यू विल से कि यार मैं तो कॉलेज जाता नहीं था, तो फिर उसमें वो एंगल में जाएगा कि तुम अटेंड नहीं करते हो कॉलेज.
वही.
So it might get into a negative aspect. That is the reason I'm trying to find a silver lining over here. That is my only concern. And now if you will show your 3 years of workix, this question will come up. कि अगर आपका ग्रेजुएशन मान लो 18 से 21 है और अभी से 3 साल का वर्कix है, which means कम से कम 1 से 2 साल का, you're telling me 2 years. So that is 2 years of working that has overlapped with your degree.
Yes,
तो
sir.
उसका एक जवाब सोचना यार, क्या बोल सकते हो, वो आपके कॉलेज पे डिपेंड करेगा, right? Because full time के साथ working दिखाना is slightly tough. That will get into a slightly problematic, I won't say problematic situation, but weird situation. Now coming to your question, जनरली जिनका 2 से 3 साल वर्क होता है उनसे इतना नहीं पूछते हैं कॉलेज के बारे में, ठीक है? बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली यार 3 साल हो गया है पास किए हुए, इतना नहीं कोई याद रखता है, प्रैक्टिकली स्पीकिंग इतना कोई याद नहीं रखता है. However, there might still be a couple of questions, very basic questions, कि यार 3 साल हो गया कॉलेज को पास हुए, क्या याद है तुम्हें कॉलेज के बारे में, something like that, right? So in that case you should have at least one subject which maybe you enjoyed in your college, which maybe you remember that हाँ मैंने ये पढ़ा था,
Yes,
which
sir.
maybe you were able to, and I'm saying not, चलो not enjoyed, but able to understand, remember a couple of keywords from that subject, right? And then maybe talk about those keywords. After a point of time, if you do not remember it, it's okay, you do not remember it, but that is still better than you saying कि सर मुझे कुछ याद नहीं.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
For freshers, however, it is a different ball game. If you are still in your undergraduate college, they might end up asking you more from your final semester, final trimester, or whatever, something like that. Simply because they need some pointers to ask and discuss. ऐसे मतलब कुछ उनको चाहिए ना कि आपके बारे में बेटर जाने क्या है, तो वो पॉइंटर्स के बारे में, इसलिए they ask you these aspects. Okay.
Sir, I have just one question.
हाँ जी.
Like you said, you worked in Deloitte and you were
I didn't
engineer.
work. It
So,
was my summer internship over there. So okay, yeah, I was an intern actually, summer intern.
okay, so after engineering, you did your summer intern in Deloitte and you were
Not
also preparing.
not engineering. So my summer intern was from this college itself.
Okay, okay. Like after engineering, you directly applied for MBA.
No. I have around 32.5 years of work ex.
So why did you shift from engineering to MBA? Like, of course, you can just grow there also.
From engineering to MBA because I knew that my growth would not be that much owing to what my skill sets are.
Okay.
So I had to figure out where do I fit in, what is better for me. And in that manner, it was very tough for me to just be a coder and be a very good coder because I still know how to code. I still know how to debug and all these aspects. But am I very good at that? I'm not. Am I within the top 10 or top 1 percentile of India's coders? I'm not. So that is why I went towards that.
And so, like right now in Mumbai, there is, of course, not in Mumbai, not in NMIS, every other college is facing about the recession. So right now, till the time like companies are coming in Mumbai, like what is the scene?
While I have to be tight-lipped because of a couple of guidelines I have to follow from my college, long story short, place हो जाओगे अच्छी जगह पे. I can
Okay.
talk about my college.
हाँ, मतलब of course NMIS.
बेसिक सीवी भी है. मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि बहुत तगड़ी सीवी है. बेसिक सीवी भी है. थोड़ा इज्जतदार आके कॉलेज में 2 साल मेहनत भी कर लोगे. एकदम अच्छी जगह प्लेस हो जाओगे. कुछ बेसिक काम करोगे तो प्लेस हो जाओगे. प्लेस नौकरी लेके जाओगे. बेरोजगार नहीं निकलोगे. If that answers the question.
So you are talking about Mumbai, NMIS Mumbai only, or all the NMIS branches? Like, of course, Bangalore.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Right.
NMIMS Mumbai, NMIMS Bangalore. I'll have to see or read more कि उनके यार देखो mostly NMIMS placement से करवा देता है. अब कितने placement से आप comfortable हो is a matter of option. Let's say you come in thinking कि यार मेरे को within 35 LPA nothing is expected. Let's say, right? There's a high likelihood or a high chance that you will be disappointed, right? Because the average is approximately पिछले साल का average was around 26. Right. If someone comes in and says कि यार मेरे को तो 20-25 LPA चल जाएगा, then there's a high likelihood that he or she would be happy with it, because again, average. So even if you're just above average, you'll still end up getting a good enough
Okay.
offer. So yeah, NMIMS के बाकी branches यार, as I said यार, आप लोगों को एक बार placement reports are audited in most B schools. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
And that is majorly what it is. And if that answers the question.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Pankaj.
यस सर, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, जैसे मेरे को अब एमबीए करना फाइनेंस में, तो इंटरव्यू वो फाइनेंस से रिलेटेड कौन कौन से क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं?
फाइनेंस के रिगार्डिंग कौन कौन से क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं? फाइनेंस का कुछ
हाँ,
आपने कोर्स, डिग्री, अंडर ग्रेजुएट ऐसा कुछ किया है?
नहीं सर, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया है सर.
तो सबसे
मैं
पहले
अभी मैं
बताइए
क्या
क्यों
पढ़ूं
इंटरेस्ट
मतलब फाइनेंस के बारे में?
बीकॉम किया है ना?
बीकॉम किया है सर.
ठीक है. So you have a BCom, right? BCom degree.
Yes.
Any certification or something you have in finance?
नहीं सर,
बेसिक यार बैलेंस शीट बनाना भी किसी सर्टिफिकेशन में सिखाते हैं, ऐसा कुछ कहीं पढ़ा है?
मैं कुछ पढ़ा तो नहीं है सर.
बैलेंस शीट नाम सुना है? बैलेंस शीट क्या होता है?
बैलेंस शीट तो पढ़ा हुआ है सर, बीकॉम किया है तो वो तो obviously.
लेजर क्या होता है ये पता है?
हाँ सर.
ठीक है. देखो यार, अगर तुम्हें सब कुछ आता हो, ठीक है, and I hope everyone's okay guys, I'm keeping this session light till 9 o'clock, right? यार अगर तुम्हें सब कुछ आता होता तो फिर तुम एमबीए नहीं करते, तुमको ऑलरेडी जॉब मिल गई होती, है ना? जेपी मॉर्गन आता तुम्हें 50 लाख का पैकेज देता और तुम्हें ले लेता एट द एंड ऑफ द डे. क्यों करना भाई एमबीए? जब एट द एंड ऑफ द डे 20, 25, 30 लाख क्यों खर्च करना है? उनको पता है कि तुम्हें नहीं आता, तो वो तुमसे कोई बहुत भारी भरकम सवाल नहीं पूछेंगे. However, they might end up asking you something just to slightly stress you out. कि यार पंकज आया, यार सीधा सा बंदा लग रहा है, थोड़ा सा परेशान करके देखते हैं कैसा रिएक्ट करता है. ठीक है, कभी कभी दिस विल हैपन इन इंटरव्यूज. ठीक है, अच्छा सा फ्रॉम व्हाट आई कैन जज फ्रॉम योर अपीयरेंस राइट नाउ इज यू आर वन ऑफ दोस गुड स्टूडेंट्स कि सर मैं पढ़ाई करूंगा, व्हिच इज गुड बाय द वे. आई एम नॉट, प्लीज डोंट टेक दिस नेगेटिवली, राइट? दिस इज वेरी गुड. कि यार सर I'll come in, I'll put in good work, hard work and everything and I'll work. तो कभी कभी इंटरव्यूज एक आध सवाल उनसे पूछ लेते हैं उनको इस सिचुएशन में डालने के लिए कि यार अगर इस पे मैंने स्ट्रेस डाला तो कैसे रिएक्ट करेगा. The good point is if you're able to handle that, your seat, your berth in the college is booked. Okay, so that is the advantage which you might have at this point of time. Coming back to your question, Pankaj, they will ask you questions relating to what you've learned in your BCom in the aspect of finance. If you say कि मुझे finance में interest है, ठीक है? And the question can be anything. They can literally give you, let's say, their assets क्या होते हैं, एक XYZ चीज बता दी, क्या इसको आप asset में गिनोगे कि नहीं गिनोगे, क्या ये current asset है कि नहीं है, क्या ये current liability है कि नहीं है, इस तरह के questions you might face. As I said, there are people in the first trimester of MBA who have no idea what assets, liabilities, what a balance sheet is, simply because their background is different. Right?
Yes.
I come from an engineering background. अगर मैं engineering के तुरंत बाद MBA ज्वाइन कर लेता, मुझे पता ही नहीं था यार क्या होता है बैलेंस शीट. मैंने बड़े बड़े देखे हैं जिनकी बैलेंस शीट आज तक बैलेंस नहीं होती है. Right? If you given any examination, anyone who has given an examination would have an idea कि यार बैलेंस शीट बैलेंस करना is a headache man. कई बार नहीं होती है balance.
बोर्ड
बहुत
एग्जाम में
headache
भी
होता है।
नहीं, 12th
बोर्ड
में
एग्जाम में बैलेंस शीट मैच हो जाना बहुत खुशी की बात होती है भाई।
8% मैच हो जाए भाई बहुत बड़ी बात है।
Yes,
मोस्ट
sir.
ऑफ द
मैंने
टाइम नहीं होती है।
Exactly. Now imagine you guys still have some background knowledge of it. Let's say there's a computer science engineer, myself, coming with no idea of finance, and then he's given a balance sheet of a proper company कि इसको देखो, इसमें asset समझो, liability समझो, वगैरह वगैरह. So what do I mean to say is people do come in with no, although मेरा intended specialization was in finance, but people do come in with no idea of finance, or let's say marketing or consulting or whatever, and they intend to judge what your interest is. Your interest should be based on some data, some work you've done, something you've read, or maybe some concrete information that you can give them. बस कुछ रैंडम मत बोलना कि सर मुझे फाइनेंस करना है, सर पैसा कमाते हैं सर, मजा आ गया मेरे, ये सब मत बोलना.
मन हो गया फाइनेंस करने का।
हाँ
ऐसे ही बोले मन हो गया फाइनेंस करने का, ऐसा नहीं बोलना।
हाँ यार, रैंडम, दिस इज फॉर एवरीवन यार, रैंडम बात मत बोलना वहां जाके, ठीक है? Have some data, have some reason for your answers, please. Please make sure you do that. Okay? Pankaj,
Yes,
if
sir.
that answers the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Saurav.
सर आई हैव अ डाउट, काफी टाइम से मेरे दिमाग में है. मैंने सर 2021 में मैंने अपनी बीकॉम कंप्लीट करी थी.
Okay.
फिर मेरा गैप हो गया था. मैं गेट एग्जाम दिया था इकोनॉमिक्स का, और मैंने और भी एग्जाम दिए, उनमें क्लियर नहीं हुआ. फिर मैंने अगले साल फिर कैट दिया.
I'm sorry, कौन से एग्जाम्स दिए आपने?
गेट दिया था
गेट. Okay, okay. MTech. हाँ.
और भी दिए थे दूसरे वाले, गेट इकोनॉमिक्स.
अच्छा, okay, okay, sorry, ठीक है.
तो फिर मैंने अगले साल फिर कैट दिया. कैट में फिर अच्छा स्कोर नहीं आया. फिर मैंने इस बार भी दिया. तो मेरा, पर मैंने बीच में एमकॉम के लिए अप्लाई कर दिया था, डिस्टेंस लर्निंग के लिए.
And MCOM from distance learning, ठीक है, ठीक है.
अब मैं सेकंड ईयर में हूँ
MCOM के, ठीक है.
सर. अब मेरे को ठीक से एक साल गैप भी हो गया, और मैं सेकंड ईयर में भी हूँ, और डिस्टेंस लर्निंग है तो ज़्यादा मेरे को नॉलेज नहीं है एमकॉम के बारे में, टू बी ऑनेस्ट.
ठीक है.
और अब मैं किस तरह से वो क्वेश्चन मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं, और मैं क्या आंसर दूं, क्या स्टोरी लाइन बनाऊं, ये समझ नहीं आ रहा.
MCOM का I'll tell you. MCOM का जो अभी कुछ टाइम पहले मैंने सजेस्ट भी किया था, हैव सम आइडिया एक या दो सब्जेक्ट्स का अच्छे से, ठीक है? अच्छे से मतलब जितना आपको आ सकता है. Now see, the guys who are taking your interview are really, really experienced faculties of distinguished B schools of India. Long story short, वो अगर आपको फंसाना चाहेंगे तो फंसा लेंगे. Legit आपका कोई फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट है जो आप 10 साल से पढ़ रहे हो ना, तब भी वो बंदा अगर फंसाना चाहेगा तो फंसा लेगा, simply because he has more experience. One at that point of time you will have more, at the, hopefully that amount of experience in that, and that amount of knowledge as well, right? But then his motive is not to make sure that you are not able to answer the question. His motive is to kind of test what is the limit of your knowledge, and once you do not know the answer of your question, how do you react? A lot of people, once pushed in that zone, do not know how to react. They have a very negative reaction. Mana kar deta. Always remember, in every of your interviews, do not just give up and say a no on something. They might end up giving you a case study or a simulation or something like that, or a situation. Just do not give up कि सर ये तो मुझसे नहीं होगा, I'm so sorry, मैं तो किसी और से कोई केस, सपोज कोई सिचुएशन दी आपको, that you are in a जो हम ZAT के डिसीजन मेकिंग में भी पढ़ते हैं now, if you guys have given ZAT, so what happens is decision making में there's a general rule that you never give up and say कि मैं तो अपने मैनेजर से काम करवा दूंगा. You always try tackling the situation in an ethical manner first. please remember this as a rule of thumb when you give your interviews. He might give you a very tough question. It can be an academic question, it can be a work related question, it can be something else. Please do not say कि सर ये तो मुझे नहीं आता है, मुझसे हो ही नहीं सकता है. और अगर ऐसा एक्सट्रीम सिचुएशन आ भी गया कि भाई उसने कुछ पूछ दिया उल्टा सीधा, कुछ भी आइडिया नहीं है, मतलब सब सोच लिया, request, sir, can I just have 30 seconds, 1 minute to think? Okay, take 30 seconds to 1 minute, think about it. फिर भी नहीं आ रहा है, कुछ आइडिया, दूर दूर तक आइडिया नहीं है, प्लीज रैंडम तुक्के मत मारना. वो बंदे बहुत ज्यादा पढ़े लिखे हैं, पीएचडी कर चुके हैं, वो हंस देंगे मुंह पे तुम्हारे, पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस चला जाएगा. ठीक है, शायद नहीं हंस दें, ऐसे बेइज्जती नहीं करना चाहेंगे, बट ऐसा कुछ बोल देंगे कि पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस चला जाएगा. तो रैंडम तुक्के, कभी कभी होता है ना कि हम लोग कुछ भी बोल देते हैं इंटरव्यूज में, वो एकदम बेसिक सी रैंडम सी चीज मत बोलना, एक्सेप्ट कर लेना that sir, I apologize, I'm not very sure of what this answer is, however I would love to learn from you, something like that. That shows कि भाई आ नहीं रहा है, but अपन सीखेंगे. Correct. Now sort of coming back to your question, यार एमकॉम की डिग्री है और मोस्ट रिसेंट डिग्री वही है, you should have some idea about it. Okay. Long story short, there have to be 1 or 2 subjects that you have an idea about, that are able to basically tell that this is what MCOM is, this is the major subjects which I learned from MCOM, and this is how I intend to apply my knowledge to your MBA college. Okay, I'll give you an example. One of the major reason why I wouldn't say relate, but I understand, is that during the lockdown phase, I did an MA in English from IIM. Okay, because I've been interested in reading literature. A couple of my friends suggested कि यार MA कर ले, although मेरे personally कोई career implications नहीं थे, but because I was already reading people like Geoffrey Chaucer and so on, so I was able to get a degree out of it. However, when I gave my MBA interviews, I was asked a couple of things कि यार आपने इंजीनियरिंग करी, फिर आपने MA किया, अभी आप MBA कर रहे हो, so these are 3 very different things. What exactly is your thought process that you've come up? So I did, and I was very honest about it. I was like, sir, MA मैंने सिर्फ इसलिए किया है because I was interested in reading जो content पढ़ के मैं, जो content मैं already मजे में पढ़ रहा हूँ, if I'm able to read that content, give a small examination and get a degree out of it, that for me was a great proposition, which is why I went ahead with that. While I by no means I'm downplaying my MA degree, there are no major career thought processes or implications behind that. This is what I said. Okay, Saurav, does that answer your question?
सर मैंने एक स्टोरी मतलब कि इसके रिलेटेड बनाई है, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ. सर एक्चुअली में मैंने बीकॉम के अंदर ही मैंने एक अपना बिजनेस चालू करा था, ऑनलाइन क्रॉकरी सेलिंग.
Okay.
तो मैंने ये स्टोरी बनाई है कि मैं उनसे बोल दूंगा कि मैंने बीकॉम करी है, उसके बाद मैंने बीकॉम पे जो सीखा है फिर मैंने वो अपने बिजनेस में लगाने की कोशिश करी है बीकॉम के बाद. फिर मैंने बीकॉम के बाद वो मैंने लगभग 5 महीने काम करा है उसमें, उसमें ज़्यादा सक्सेसफुल मेरे को नहीं मिला है. फिर मैंने ट्राई करा एमकॉम में, एमकॉम से और ज़्यादा नॉलेज इकट्ठा करने के लिए, जिससे मैं और ज़्यादा बिजनेस के बारे में सीख सकूँ.
Okay.
एंड देन मेरे एक्सपेक्टेशन मीट नहीं हुए, और पर मैंने काफ़ी सारी लर्निंग करी है वहाँ से. अब मैं
Okay.
एमबीए में आ रहा हूँ, जिससे मैं आगे जाके और कुछ अच्छा बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर सकता हूँ.
Great. Great. Dude, listen, and I'll be very honest with everyone over here. Any major failure which you faced in your life is your ticket to the B school. The only catch over here is you have to be able to talk about it in a good enough manner. Sir, मैंने XYZ college से engineering BCom, XYZ degree ली. Then I wanted to start my own startup, have my own startup. I began my own startup. So what happened was XYZ reasons की वजह से नहीं चला. Right? We were not exactly able to do well. This were the reasons why we couldn't run or function that well. And this exactly is the major reason why I am coming over here, gave this examination, I'm giving this interview, and the major reason why I am intending to do an MBA as well, because I intend to have my own startup, learn from my mistakes. Yes, I was able to learn from my mistakes, but then there is formal education which I need as well. Great thing, man. If you're able to talk about this is your ticket, literally. The startup thing and the fact that you intend to do your startup. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Guys, very quickly, 2 more questions, then we'll begin with the GD, right? We are already over shooting time. Yeah, Harshita.
Sir, I wanted to ask that ये जो question पूछा जाता है कि where do you see yourself in 5, 10 or 15 years?
Yeah.
What is too less and what is too much for that?
What is too less? Okay, role play. Ask me this question. The first question.
Where do you see yourself in the 10 years, next 10 years?
Next 5 years करते हैं पहले. ठीक है? Next 5 years and let's say 15-20 years. Right? Short term goals, long term goals. So you're the interviewer over here. I'm the candidate. You've asked me where do you see yourself 5 years from now. What is too less? If I'm able to finish off the loan of my MBA college and get a good enough job. So yeah, maybe a good enough job in a good enough company is where I see myself in 5 years. That is too less. Dude, you're not getting selected if you say something like this. It can be a part of your answer. You know, for instance, even in my answers till now, even in my final placement or my summer placement interviews, I personally always use slight bit of formal humor over there. So while I'm talking about my short-term and long-term goals, I always mention that yes, sir, short-term, to be very honest, I have a loan of XYZ lakhs on my head, and I do intend to finish that off as well because that's a huge headache. So that is something which they relate to, and I'll laugh and not laugh, but I'll smile and they'll smile. So if you use it in this manner with a slight bit of humor, that is great. That you can say, but don't just say something like this and full stop end. That is too less. Too much, ma'am. Actually, I intend to be a partner at McKinsey within 5 years from now, and I'm just a fresher. That is too much because that means that you are in a delusional world or something. Because a partner at McKinsey does not happen within 3 or 4 years of working or 5 years of working, right? You have to work for like 15-20 years or something like that. So that is too much. You have to have a certain balance in whatever answer you say, and it has to match with your personality and match with your background knowledge, background work, whatever you've done. Or if it's not matching, let's say you have a degree in finance, however you're coming in and saying that I want to do marketing or I want to do consulting, then you have to have a strong enough reason why exactly are you saying that. And my suggestion to everyone out there, what I keep telling everyone, is be very honest about it. यार अगर किसी चीज में इंटरेस्ट बना है तो किसी वजह से बना होगा. आप लोग इतने पागल तो नहीं हो कि 20 लाख का फीस भर दोगे और बस बोलोगे कि यार फाइनेंस सुनने में अच्छा लग रहा है कर लेता है. कोई तो शायद घर में होगा जिसने बताया होगा, किसी को फॉलो करते होगे उससे होगा, किसी से फैकल्टी से डिस्कशन हुआ होगा उससे होगा. दे ऑलवेज हैज टू बी सम रीजन. Back that reason and talk about it in a formal, educated, in that manner. Maybe do some more research. Okay, if that answers the question. Okay,
So what about the long-term goals?
you tell me, what are your long-term goals?
So I was asked this question, I could not answer it. That is why I'm asking. Like,
क्या करना चाहते हो यार लाइफ में? क्या करना चाहते हो? सोचा है कभी?
Sir,
नहीं
no.
सोचा है तो बोल दे यार, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. अपन तो
नहीं, ऐसी कुछ स्पेसिफिक वे पाथ कुछ वैसा नहीं सोचा है.
इंटेंडेड स्पेशलाइजेशन क्या है? मार्केटिंग, फाइनेंस?
नहीं, नॉर्मल बीबीए किया था.
नहीं, अभी एमबीए में इंटेंडेड स्पेशलाइजेशन क्या है?
फाइनेंस.
You can talk about a CFO. सर मुझे जेपी मॉर्गन में CFO बनना है. अभी मैंने आपको 2 कीवर्ड दिए हैं, जेपी मॉर्गन और CFO. ओके, नाउ अ स्मॉल होमवर्क फॉर यू. गो बैक, रीड CFO क्या करता है. गो बैक, रीड मैंने जेपी मॉर्गन बोला तो क्यों बोला. ओके, एंड हाउ एग्जैक्टली कैन दिस अलाइन विद योर लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स. दिस इज अ होमवर्क फॉर यू.
Okay, sir.
I'm assuming you are on the group, right?
Yes, I am.
On the group, right? Either let me know in the next session or just drop me a text. So if and guys, this is for everyone. Please feel free to drop me a text. ठीक है, अभी it is a very important time for you people. Please मुझे बात करो, मुझे टेक्स्ट करो, अपन बात करते हैं. जब तक घुस घुस के बात नहीं करोगे भाई, तब तक क्लैरिटी नहीं होगी. I wrote this on the group as well. Please make sure the group is lively. Please make sure you are speaking, talking, texting people. जितना बात करोगे उतना सीखोगे. Trust me. Okay. Yeah, Shubh.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, just a small question that the interviewers usually ask a question that why do you consider yourself a better candidate for the institute?
Yeah.
So I usually get blank when I'm answering the question. So how can I frame this keeping in mind my own like background?
Okay, interesting question.
Yes.
What's your background though?
Sir, I've done my Bachelor's of Commerce, BCom, and I have also worked as a sales and marketing intern at a few NGOs, at two NGOs, and
Okay.
that, yes.
Okay. So majorly you're a fresher. क्योंकि
Yes,
full
sir.
time work you don't have. Okay. So I'll tell you the psychology that maybe you have, और आप बताना कि यार is it what you think or not, right? So whenever this question pops up, a lot many times you might end up start thinking कि यार बाकी सारे बंदे भी तो अच्छे हैं यार, मेरे पास ऐसा क्या है कि मैं
Exactly, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है. This is something which is a very common thing in most people कि यार बाकी सारे बंदे भी तो यार इतने अच्छे अच्छे. सेकेंडली क्या होता है ना, कई बार कुछ बंदे बहुत एक्सट्रोवर्टेड सॉर्ट ऑफ होते हैं, तो वो बताते रहते हैं यार मैंने तो ये किया है यार, मैंने तो वो किया है, सारी चीजें. इट मे बी इन योर सम प्रेपरेशन, इट मे बी सम फ्रेंड ऑफ योर्स और व्हाटएवर. सो कई बार होता क्या है, उसकी वजह से वी स्टार्ट थिंकिंग कि यार यू नो एमएमएस मुंबई ये बंदा भी दे रहा है, मैं भी दे रहा हूँ, इसकी तो सीवी इतनी अच्छी है, मेरी तो कुछ नहीं है. भले सीवी देखी ना हो, भले उसकी
Yes,
खाली
sir.
बातें सुनी, राइट. बट यार why should वो तो ना why should I hire you type की question की in your
Also
case why should I
because
choose you.
since I am a fresher, so I don't have a prior knowledge of working in a company or at a corporate. So
Best है ना यार, fresher हो best है, you have time as compared to I'm assuming you're around what 22 23 years old, 24 years old.
the 21.
21 dude. I was 26 25. I was 25 when I started. तुम्हारे पास 4 साल ज्यादा है मेरे से. Time is much more important and much bigger than currency. इससे ज्यादा strong point और क्या हो सकता है. And please यार जिनका वर्क एक्स वो डिमोटिवेट ना हो जाना, बट इससे ज्यादा और क्या हो सकता है. टॉक अबाउट इट. सबसे पहली चीज तो मतलब इफ इट कम्स टू दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन कि यार आप फ्रेशर हो, कोई और वर्क एक्स है,
So
बोलो
can I
सर
say that can I say that since I am a fresher, so I am more flexible in learning diverse.
ऑब्वियसली
Yes.
ऑब्वियसली आप बोलो सर, आपके अच्छे से रिसर्च करो, जो भी कॉलेज है, जो भी काम करना है, ठीक है. गो इन एंड से, एंड दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच आई डू प्रॉपर रिसर्च, आई डू प्रॉपर बैकग्राउंड रिसर्च. आई गो इन एंड से कि सर ऐसा है. मैं किसी से कंपेयर नहीं कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन मैं ये बता रहा हूँ कि मैं क्यों अच्छा हूँ. मैं रीजन है, सबसे पहली चीज क्लैरिटी है मुझे सर. I've come in and I'm here to tell you that this is what I intend to do. This is what you guys are offering in my understanding, and this is where I align. Sir, this clarity of thought, how many people do actually are able to sit in the interview and talk about it? This is one of the reasons why I am much better than most guys who don't be arrogant, but be assertive about it. There's a very fine line. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Don't be aggressive, but be assertive, as they say in B schools. They teach you. Aggressive हो गया कि
Sir,
सर मैं मेरे से बेहतर नहीं है कोई. That is bad. That is wrong. Assertive is, so this is what I know, and this is one of the reasons why I am one of the better guys to actually walk in this interview and talk about.
Okay, sir.
Okay, go in with this mindset, develop an answer about it. Tell me why you are a good guy. खुद को कंपेयर मत करो, पहले वो अपना साइकोलॉजिकल थॉट हटा दो कि यार 5 लोग और इंटरव्यू में बैठे हैं या जीटी में और बड़े जूम कॉल में बैठे हैं, उनसे कंपेयर
sir.
मत करो. मुझे ये बताओ कि शुभ मिश्रा जो है बंदा, उसने यार क्या तोड़ काम किया है इसमें, ठीक है. एकेडमिक्स में उठा ले 2-3 चीजें, कुछ तो किया ही होगा यार अभी तक, कितने एग्जाम
जैसे
निकाल.
सर जैसे इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज, जैसे मैं 2-3 इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइजर एज अ पार्ट भी रहा हूँ, तो
ग्रेट.
वो भी बता
इवेंट
सकते
ऑर्गेनाइजर जो पार्ट किया है, उस इवेंट के बारे में बात कर ले कि सर ये काम ना मैंने किया था सर, पूरी टीम में कोई नहीं कर पा रहा.
हैं.
ऐसे
Okay.
कुछ कुछ बना ले, ठीक है. सो
ठीक
दीज एक्सपीरियंस एंड देन फाइनली लिंक एवरीथिंग टू योर कॉलेज/MBA एजुकेशन. कुछ भी रैंडम, जैसे बोलता ना कि पत्थर उड़ा मत देना हवा में, बोलना है बट उसको लिंक करके वापस लाना है कि सर ये मैंने ऐसे ऐसे किया था. क्या था कि हमारे मान लो एक इवेंट होने वाला था, not really too many people knew about it. Yeah, Rhythm, okay. Not really too many people knew about it, and I was able to market it in such a manner that whatever people were that the entire event ended up having more traction.
Okay, sir.
Which is why my
Sir,
interest in marketing started. Yeah, I'm sorry, someone was saying something.
no, sir. Sir, for the same question which Shubh asked, like I'm also fresher, I have done BBA, I'm also 21 years old, I have 1 year gap. So for the same question, what I prepared, maybe it would help Shubh also. Like what I prepared is, I can tell you like what is it. So what I was planning to say is like I have some key perspective which makes me different from others, and those key perspective I have made it some points, and under that points I have um maybe I have mentioned myself in that areas, in that criteria. For example, first of all is my fresh perspective. After all, I am a freshly graduate. I have an innovative mind. I have a fresh mind. With that, offers me different types of business opportunities and different types of theoretical versus practical knowledge. Second is my commitment towards personal and professional development. I have worked as I have as not only with my academic achievements but also with my extracurricular achievements. And in my extracurricular, I have worked in different kinds of internships. So I can mention that also. And thirdly, about my enthusiastic and dedication about the learning, I can say this. These are the points, basic points which I maintain for myself.
Two reasons why this is a crazy good answer. One, everything is in points. Sir, why am I a good candidate? Pointer 1, pointer 2, pointer 3. मैंने random बातें नहीं करी. Pointer 1, and try doing this, everyone.
Okay, sir.
First point, this is what I've done. इसलिए I'm good. Second point, third point, answer done. मैंने बहुत लंबी कहानी नहीं सुनाई. Nitya, I believe you were there last time as well, right? When I
Yes,
was right. There is a huge improvement as compared to last time. Okay, so please make sure you're whatever you're practicing on. Please make sure you're practicing on those aspects. Whatever you're reading, please make sure you're reading that. Now coming back to it, that's primarily, and secondly, what I said. You're taking examples from your own life. I've done this degree, I've done this work, and then you're linking it to what your MBA academic and MBA work is. So the person knows, the person who's taking your interview knows that this guy is going to come in this college. This is what they'll do. This is the work they'll do, and they are very happy about it. Basically, they want a clear guy. इधर बुद्धि साफ होनी चाहिए कि मैं आ रहा हूं, मेरे को ये काम करना है और मेरे को इस तरह की प्लेसमेंट उठानी है और ऐसे ऐसे करना है. However, it is okay to be confused as well. I am very sure there are people in this meeting right now who are slightly confused कि यार इतनी क्लैरिटी तो नहीं है मेरे को लाइफ में, इतना सब पता होता तो फिर क्या दिक्कत थी, right? That is okay as well. I'm not asking you to be assured about everything in life. I'm asking you to be assured about what you already know. अगर आपको पता है कि मुझे फाइनेंस करना है, I want you guys to be assured of that at least for the next couple of months. Thought process change होता है, एक बार आओगे तो thought process change होता है लोग का, and that is okay as well. But at least for the next couple of months, back yourself. कि यार सोचा है तो अभी तो ये करना है हमें जब तक एक proper reason ना मिल जाए. Correct? Okay. Okay, guys, very quickly, we'll do a 10-minute GD right now. Okay. So what I'll be doing is I will be giving you a situation where I'll type in the chat box. And this is not a GD where I want you people to just start fighting. This is a GD where I want you people to be a part of a team and then discuss the solutions, probable aspects of how the situation can be improved. Okay, got it? Apart from that, before we begin, can a very quick raise of hands, how many people are attending the session for the very first time? जो हमारे साथ एकदम पहला सेशन है जिनका, very quick raise of hands. Okay, सौम्या, अगर आप हल्का सा माउस स्क्रॉल करोगे ना और रिएक्शंस पे क्लिक करोगे, हर्षित as well, तो उस पे एक हैंड रेज का, इट्स ओके, वी ऑल लर्न. मैंने जूम एमबीए कॉलेज ज्वाइन करने के बाद सीखा है, सो आई एम नो डिफरेंट. तो उस पे एक रेज हैंड का एक ऑप्शन होता है. ओके, चलो ठीक है. So there are 1 2 3 4 5 people जिनका it's their very first session with us. Okay, perfect. चलो यार, great. So everyone understands. You can stop raising your hands now. Everyone understands the point? Give me like 30 seconds to type in over here and I'll be sending the message across. Can you see the text?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. You have exactly 1 minute to think about it. At 9:19, chalo, we'll begin, and then you have 7 minutes to discuss. So when I write attrition, what I mean is people are leaving, quitting the job. Yeah, guys, let's begin. You have exactly 7 minutes. 9:26 is when we'll stop. Let's discuss.
Okay, so as a board of member, first we will ask him why he is misbehaving with juniors. What is the reason? It is good for organization or not. If he go through with same approach, then we can do one thing that we can say you have to change your approach. You have to behave good with your juniors. You can be promoted.
As a
I
board,
Okay.
slightly disagree with you, Rohit. First of all, I would like to firstly go into the deep cause, deep root. What is the major problem? What is the major concern as to why is that manager behaving that way? First of all, we
I
need to
also believe that
understand.
I also believe that Tanushka is correct. We should first gather the information by conducting a small interview of those person who are actually being treated like this. We can confidentially we can make a interview of them and let us know that what all actually they are facing, so
as,
that we can make sure about the things clearly and take an
Um,
action against that person.
I'm
I
agree,
totally
I'm
But
agree
you know,
with
the
agree.
Nisha.
juniors have
but
highlighted this problem. That's the first reason that we know about it. So we can have a conversation with the junior, but you know, it will just give us
Yeah.
a glimpse. But
Yeah,
before
that
that, what
is
I
mm,
think is we should have a word with the manager and should
we
mm,
can have.
inform him about this, that you know, most of the juniors are, you know, leaving
I
this
agree
company
with
due to this
Rhythm.
behavior.
I
I
agree
think
with
we need
Rhythm. We
to
could have
strike a
one-to-one session with the manager as well, and one-to-one talk with the people he has basically done something wrong, and then we can also have a meeting where we can combine manager and those people together and actually know the issue where it's coming
it's
and
very
what actually
important
is the
to
problem
strike
But
a
going on.
I'm
but
sorry,
before
Soumya, but you
going to the
know,
manager,
having a session where the manager and the juniors are available, it would not be correct because you know it undermines the authority.
Yeah.
Because
rhythm.
juniors
I
have to
think
report to the managers.
it's very important to strike a balance between the high performance employees and also a healthy work environment. So in my opinion, we should have an impact assessment, wherein the impact of the organization on of the manager's behavior on the organization, we access that, and also consider the long term effect of it. Secondly, the
Manager is nothing.
Okay, let him complete first.
the well-being of the employees. See the attrition, which is due to the manager behavior, it can also have effects on the organization's culture and morale. So
That's correct, Manoj. That's what we are saying, that you know, first we'll have the review of the manager by him. We'll ask with him like what is the issues going on, or what is if there is any problem or something. but will not, converge the meeting of the manager and the associates in the same room.
Yeah, firstly, we should
I
not
agree with
convert the
Rhythm
meeting with the
But we
manager
can,
and the
but we
people
can
who are
con
facing the issue. First, we should, like you are saying, first we should take with a manager, conduct a meeting with manager, and again we should take a meeting, separate meeting with all those people who are facing those issues, so that we could common things, common points that both of them are feeling, and
Yes, I
then we
agree with
should go
Manager
Monjee.
as a
should
board
forward.
of
not
It
be
is
directors,
given
as a
the
board of
leverage.
directors, we as a board of
great
directors, we
to take a call on both
both
sides. We listen from both sides. The manager is a big misbehave or juniors are not working properly. What should be happening in the organization? Then we take call on that point.
Since the
as,
manager has been behaving the multiple times, we cannot give all the leverage to the manager. A manager is nothing without his or her team. So first of
That
all,
is
now
what
we
I'm
need to talk to the manager. What is
You
the
are right,
problem?
Tanushka, but the juniors have informed this for the first time and we have
No,
observed
no, he has
it.
been
So
given warnings.
we have not, no, actually it is not
So I
mentioned in the
believe
topic. So,
that we must consider our juniors' problem, because the juniors and interns are facing a lot of problem in considering our organization from as starting their careers, due to which our organization is facing a very bad
No,
goodwill.
the,
but
the
as a board of director, we should also consider the
yeah.
manager's point of view, because it is a very important for the organization, because it is a very high performing manager. We cannot
But
let him
Saurabh, it is
down.
a
Saurav,
recurring
if
issue.
he's
It has not
misbehaving,
happened
so we don't
once.
have to, have to consider this. We just have
Yes,
to
we
have
have
a
to
word with
consider,
him
we
and
have to
ask
consider the
him
both point of
to,
views.
make it correct.
But Rhythm, how
So
many
what I'm
times
saying
will
is
you
just
ask?
give
It
him
is a
some,
recurring
I
issue.
believe we
It
must
has
take
not
Tanushka, I'm
happened
just saying that
once.
give him a formal,
How many
letter or
times? It has
something.
been done again and again, no? So
If
now
it
we
has
need
been
I
to
done
take
believe
again
some
and
we
again, then,
take
action.
the
It's
we
a
should remove
recurring
him from the
issue.
organization.
But
We
we
can
can,
do one more thing,
But
like
without taking,
for the manager case, what Ridham and Tanushka is saying, or everybody is preferring that talk to manager, that is okay. We can also do that. We can review our company policies towards the manager and tell them all the kinds of policies he is not, which he is basically not following it, so that for the last time we can give him the like warranty. Oh, sorry, give him
Strict
that
Warning.
action.
warning.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
believe
No,
We should
right
give him a
now he
chance.
is
being in the
misbehaving
board.
with the
I,
employees. What is the
just a minute.
guarantee?
Tanushka, just a minute.
Yeah.
I believe since it's a recurrent issue, being in the board, I would look after a succession as a succession planning. To be honest, because since it's a recurrent issue, the manager might be wrong in this. So we'll have to maintain a succession plan to mitigate the impact of revenue if we change the manager. So that's one thing that we should collectively focus on being in the board.
but we can change
No
the approach.
action is taken against the manager, then he will continue doing that, and then the company will eventually face a lot of problems because of that.
As
So
of now, he's
employees
just
and manager both
misbehaving
are
with the
important for the
employees.
company. So what we can do is we can find a different
So we have to
manager
mitigate
It
something.
is not easy to
Both of
find a
managers
manager
and
at a
juniors
certain
are
point
both
of time at
important
a
for
quick
company.
minute.
Board,
We
we should
cannot
we can do an
I
IGP
remove.
agree with
function.
Harshita that
being in the
I
board,
think
we should
we
not.
should
Guys, please
always
speak
with
one by one. Nothing is audible. Just speak one by
Thing is
one,
that
please.
an organization should not, overly rely on a single individual for its success. It's very bad for the
Exactly.
organization itself. So a succession plan is what we should focus on, in my opinion.
As of now, he's just
Yeah,
misbehaving
that
with the
would be
employees.
correct.
What's the guarantee he won't misbehave with the clients if he has
Tanushka,
anger
we are following the
1 minute,
succession
guys.
plan. So,
Last 1
we
minute.
are rolling out the IJP and, reviewing the manager. So
Hmm.
your issue has been, your resolution has been taken care of.
As
Also,
as Manas said, only one. We cannot be dependent on a single manager
Yeah, that's
for our
true.
revenue.
also in order
By
to,
the side by side, we can continue finding a correct position, a correct person who can replace that manager.
But,
also,
What
we
I
should just
think.
roll
also
out the IJP and, follow some different selection criterias and, promote one of the juniors. That would be the best scenario, I believe.
no, this would create a employment opportunity,
Yeah, right.
not this
But,
won't be
having
focusing on the
someone who
issue.
is already
See,
experienced in
the
that
thing is,
domain and promoting him is also, making sure that that guy stays with the company, for a long term.
I have a question, like
But
what Rhythm you
I
said.
am disagree with
Guys, we are
Rhythm.
done.
I also feel, Rhythm, that
We
is
are done. We are
quite a
done.
quick way to promote a
Exactly.
person
Nitya,
towards
we are
that
done.
high paying
can
job.
ask someone to shadow the manager,
Guys, we are done.
and then
Also, after
We are done,
after,
guys. We are done. We are done.
or
Sir is saying
हो
we
गया
are
भाई,
done.
हो
just
गया
a last point, after in case we are successful in a
हो
like a
गया
successful
भाई.
planning, we should also establish a code of conduct. to,
Manas,
you
we
know,
are done. Manas, we are done.
I know I'm just closing it. Like we should also establish a code of conduct in order to, make sure that this doesn't happen again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Now before I give you your specific reviews, there are a couple of pointers that I want you guys to remember. Please note this down. ये जैसे मैथ्स में अपन फॉर्मूला लगाते हैं, ये आपके फॉर्मूले हैं जीडी क्लियर करने के, ठीक है? सबसे पहली चीज, try making sure that you are starting the GD. Simple. Carry a a digital wristwatch with you, and I'll tell you why. At times in GDs, they'll say 90 seconds to think. At times, when it's at the 85th second, you will know कि यार 5 सेकंड में चालू करना है, right? So now you're ready. If you're sitting with just no watch or nothing, in that case, you wouldn't know that when exactly am I supposed to start. Okay, please do not carry any of those smart watches. They might ask you to keep those smart watches outside for obvious reasons which you might understand as well. So please make sure, if possible, you're carrying a digital wristwatch, because they'll say 90 seconds to think, 7 minutes, 10 minutes to discuss, and 30 seconds to conclude. These time limits you need to kind of have an idea about. So a wristwatch, make sure you're carrying that. Make sure you are starting the GD. Your strongest point has to be the very first point which you begin with. Trust me, there are general jitna hamara abhi cohort hai is approximately the number of people in a GD. 10 to 12 people are there in a GD, and you might think of a specific point which you might feel ki yaar, now Soumya might think ki yaar is bande ko na मान लो निकाल देना चाहिए, and Soumya might feel कि यार ये तो बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट है यार, मेरे को लग रहा है ना ये तो कोई सोच नहीं सकता. एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ यार, ठीक है, और सौम्या ने बोला नहीं, और तब तक पीछे से हर्षित आता है, बोलता है सर ये ना इस बंदे को निकाल देना चाहिए. अब दिक्कत ये है, सौम्या विल गेट कंफ्यूज हुआ है कि यार इस बंदे ने तो मेरा पॉइंट बोल दिया, which probably has happened with you people in the past as well. अब इस बंदे ने मेरा पॉइंट बोल दिया, अब मैं क्या बोलूं? Which is one of the reasons why you should try starting with your strongest point. When you start, just introduce the topic slightly, a smaller version, a toned down version of the topic. That, okay, so the topic that we are discussing today is blah, blah, blah. And my opinion, what I feel is XYZ. Okay. Example तो मैंने भी दिया है, but please extreme opinion मत दे देना वहां पे कि काम नहीं कर रहा निकाल दो. That is not how it happens. This is not, a kid's playground or something कि अच्छा नहीं लगा भगा दिया. That is not how it works. आप लोगों को जॉब से नहीं निकालते हो. You will be future managers. You will be future leaders of the nation as well, hopefully and probably. आप लोगों को निकाल दो, भगा दो, सैलरी रोक दो, ये सब नहीं करते. Extreme case scenario. ठीक है? So that's one. That's the very first thing which you should remember. Now, what if start नहीं कर पाए? या कोई ऐसा टॉपिक आ गया समझ नहीं आ रहा है, exactly start नहीं कर पाए या कम समझ रहे हैं मेरे को. In that case, you're supposed to make approximately, मान लो 10 मिनट का GD है, ठीक है, फॉर कैलकुलेशन पर्पसेस 10 मिनट का GD है. 10 मिनट के GD में बिना चीखम चिल्ली किए, बिना अग्रेसिव हुए 3 से 4 बार एंट्री मारनी है बीच में, ठीक है, कोई स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट लेके. So in the 90 seconds that you have to think, one is your knockout punch, which you deliver in the very first statement itself, if possible, or whenever is your first statement, right? Have 3 to 4 pointers approximately. उन 3 to 4 pointers को back yourself कि मुझे ऐसे लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है मेरी रफ शीट में, मैंने बस 2-3 pointers लिखे हैं, and those pointers when I start speaking I'll be able to build up upon them. This is one of the reasons why I try sending a PDF of the Economic Times every day. ये जो pointers दिमाग में बनेंगे Economic Times पढ़ के ही बनेंगे. बिजनेस न्यूज़पेपर है, प्लीज पढ़ा करो यार, PDF भेज रहा हूँ, किसी दिन अगर भूल भी गया तो प्लीज मुझसे बोल दिया करो कि भेज. Okay? Read it every day without fail. Right? 3 से 4 बार एंट्री मारनी है 10 मिनट के GD में. Now you do the math कि कितने मिनट में कितना एंट्री मारनी है. ऐसा नहीं करना है कि किसी को नहीं बोलने देना है. Please do not do something like this. Let's say Rhythm is speaking and then let's say a Rohit or a Saurav comes in and starts speaking on top of him और उसको रोक ही दिया. Please do not do something like this. Please allow the other person to speak. However, do not be a pushover. There's a very fine line. There's a very thin line between this. Never ever be a pushover कि आप बोल रहे हो किसी और ने हल्का सा चालू किया आप रुक गए. वो नहीं होना चाहिए. But then it's not like someone else is speaking and you start shouting on top of that person. Again, there's a very thin line between that. Please understand. How will you understand? By giving more and more of these mock GTs. Okay. स्टार्ट करना है 3 से 4 एंट्रीज मारने if possible. कुछ भी नहीं हुआ यार, हम स्टार्ट भी नहीं कर पाए यार, मैंने 3 से 4 एंट्रीज भी नहीं मार पाए, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. मेक श्योर यू conclude. Now how exactly are you supposed to conclude is by listening what other people are saying. If you are not exactly able to speak a lot, if you are not exactly able to open, you probably are sitting and thinking, but while you're doing that, please make sure listening to what other people say as well. I don't expect you to remember everything which everyone says, but यार मुझे रोहित का एक पॉइंट मिल गया, मुझे मानस के 2 पॉइंट मिल गए, मुझे पंकज का 1 पॉइंट मिल गया, और उनमें से मैंने ऐसे मिला के कंक्लूजन बना दिया. You know, so this is exactly how we can conclude and talk about it. ये ऐसे करके आपने conclude कर दिया. Got it? However, अब यार ऐसा टॉपिक आ गया, मेरे से ना स्टार्ट हुआ. दिस इज अ वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो कि मतलब कुछ भी नहीं पता है, मेरे से ना स्टार्ट हुआ, मेरे से ना बीच में बोला गया, मेरे से ना कंक्लूड हुआ, मेरे से कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है. इन दैट केस बी सॉर्ट ऑफ अ लीडर. सो व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय लीडर? ये आप बिना उसके भी कर सकते हैं. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि कुछ आ रहा है तो ये नहीं करना है, ये आपका मिक्स एंड मैच है. सो व्हाट डू आई मीन बी अ लीडर? What I saw, I believe Tanushka do initially, and if I'm not mistaken, what I saw Manas and slightly Soumya do as well. Everyone else started speaking. Guys, please can we just speak one by one so everyone is able to listen and understand those points as well? Bring everyone to, at times in GD what happens is the discussion goes off topic. Okay, bring everyone back to the point that, guys, maybe we are digressing, maybe let's just come back and discuss about this and this topic. Coming back to it, why our digital wristwatch? Guys, we have just 3 minutes left approximately. Let's just try concluding at this point of time. That shows that you have the characteristics and qualities of a leader. Okay, now guys, I have overshot the time. I'm totally fine discussing this at length. If anyone is in a hurry, if you have somewhere else to go, I can totally understand. Please let me know. Maybe I'll give your reviews first, and then you can drop off if need be. Is there anyone in a hurry? And I'm totally fine, man. Time लेके बैठे sir?
Yes, sir.
चलो बढ़िया. So I'll begin with Rohit. Rohit, if I'm not mistaken, was the person who started the GD. You did start the GD. The only point was, which is great, which shows that you are, you have that take the first step wala quality. However, you said something which I couldn't exactly understand. You talk about promotion.
And मैंने ये बोला कि हम उसको बोलेंगे तू अपना अप्रोच चेंज कर दे और इस अप्रोच पे काम करेगा तो हम तेरे को प्रमोशन दे देंगे.
तो यार एक बात बता, आप एक चीज बताओ मुझे कि मैं कोई और मैनेजर हूँ और मेरा 2 साल से प्रमोशन नहीं हुआ है सपोज, ठीक है, तो मैं तो जाके अपनी टीम से बदतमीजी करना चालू कर दूंगा और फिर मेरा इशू उठेगा, मैं बोलूंगा सर मैं सुधर गया, मुझे भी प्रमोट कर दो.
लेकिन सर उसको अप्रोच चेंज करने को बोलेंगे ना कि जैसे आप काम कर रहे हो उससे
That is what
हमारा
I'm saying ना. But this sets a bad example now. Plus आप ऐसे दोनों प्रमोट कर सकते हो. There has to be there has to be some opening where you promote him.
नहीं, जैसे सिचुएशन दी थी ना आपने कि बाहर भी नहीं निकाल सकते और रिक्रूटमेंट भी नहीं है, तो
That's the game.
थोड़ा लालच तो देना पड़ेगा.
Agreed. Your thinking is not wrong. The direction of your thought process is very correct, is very justified. But the carrot that you are hanging in front of the horse is not in the right place. What do I mean to say is, you can't just promote someone like that. You can't just fire someone. अब मैंने negative की बात करी, you took it in the positive. Extreme negative भी नहीं होगा, but extreme positive भी नहीं होगा, right? You can't just promote someone like that. You talk about it. Maybe you give the person an incentive. Let's say एक बार के लिए, if you spoke about an incentive, I would still say that it's okay, right? Debatable, but I would still say it's okay. But never ever talk about extreme negatives or extreme positives. Okay. Apart from that, you did have good enough points. You did kind of if everyone agrees with Rhythm's text message, I'm okay. Chalo, ठीक है. So you did have a good enough. You did have a couple of good enough points when you did come in. If I'm not mistaken, you did have like 3 entries in the GD, 2 or 3 entries in the GD, but you were cut off by other people, which is very normal, which happens. There are other people who are trying to speak as well. This is a great thing. However, the only thing which I want you to do is read slightly more. Okay, that's one. Try understanding a couple of pointers, because when you speak, it's slightly generic conversation. Okay, if you can put in a certain educated keywords in between, instead of firing someone, maybe the attrition can be higher, something like that, right? If you can put in certain keywords like that, how will that come in? Again, by reading, let's say, Aeon essays, by reading Economic Times, all these things. Okay, then I had Nitya. Nitya had a great thing where she did ask people in terms of that what exactly is the problem. That is a great thing. This is something which they teach in MBA colleges as well, in B schools as well, where they will teach you that if a certain set of people have some problem, try reaching out to them and try having a conversation with them. This is called market research, basically. Long story short. Okay, so this is something which Nitya spoke about. I believe it was a good enough point. Is Nitya there in the meeting? I cannot see.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Yeah, Nitish. So that I believe, yeah, now I see. So I believe that was good. However, again, taking action ekdam se, I felt, is a slightly negative understanding. You spoke about ki, we can take some action against the guy, if I'm not mistaken.
No, sir, I didn't said about taking the action. I just said, first of all, my point was this. Like my point was to contact the managers first and try to communicate with them. Then Rhythm talk about that with the people. I tell about that we should communicate with the people. Then Rhythm said we should also communicate with the managers, and I was okay with that also. That this is also the thing we should do. We should first of all contact with managers and communicate with that. And we should contact with the people. This was my first point. Second, I was like, we should uh, sit with the manager and we should review our policies once again to that managers, that you are doing this.
In that
So
angle, it's okay. In that angle, maybe
yes,
I
sir.
misunderstood your point. In that angle, it's not just okay, it's a good enough point, to be honest. Okay. You also spoke about common ground. का अपन देख लेते हैं. That what exactly can be the common ground between the employees and the manager, which again was a good enough point. And something you spoke about replacement of the manager, if I'm not mistaken, later on.
I said that yes. Later on, I said we should find like manager is working. We can't directly
Fire him.
fire him. So I was just saying that we should start finding a replacement for that manager. Like
Okay,
in a
okay. While I may disagree, but that's a personal approach. I mean, I cannot say that it's a wrong thing that you're trying. It's just a personal thing. I wouldn't think about firing him simply because he's the highest performing manager of the organization, and I have to take that into consideration as well. But then again, this is
yeah.
a very personal opinion. Personal
Right.
opinions often
Directly
are
we
not.
can't fire them. Directly we can't
Look for a
fire him or
replacement and
her.
then.
Yeah, we can talk to him. We can communicate with that person. We can try to convince that person to not to do again in his future. But if he is doing at a constant basis, we need to find a replacement of that person.
ठीक
In
है,
or her.
ठीक है. And इससे मेरे को याद है, this is a good enough point, guys. No one is bigger than the organization. There are organizations that have, a certain rules and regulations in place. There are organizations that have a certain thought process in place. The manager might be the best manager that these guys have. However, if he's doing something which is ethically wrong, if he's doing something which is not right, I'm not saying fire him, but then he has to face the brunt of everything. You cannot just say that he's the best performing manager so he can have leeways, right? So Nityaran, Rhythm, you also had that leader aspect which I was mentioning, which was good. You were able to slightly direct the GD in a specific direction. So I believe that was a good. You had a point. You had a good enough point of grooming a junior to be the manager, right? Rhythm, if you can hear me.
I'm audible now? I'm audible, sir?
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. So I was mentioning the IJP, like we can groom a junior and then, can internally promote if needed.
Exactly. So that's a great point. That's a good point. Internal promotions for organizations are always a thing that they do look forward to, because these guys have been with them for a certain number of years. So that was a great point. Again, it shows that you do have an idea of how organizations work. And by the way, this is, I believe, Rohit, I was saying this, right? That this is what I mean to say when I say specific points. So a specific point like this will work. Okay. Apart from that, you spoke about maybe finding another manager as well, which was kind of similar to what Nitya spoke about as well. So those points are very, very parallel. So all in all, a good. You were able to come in what you had like 4-5 entries, man, if I'm not mistaken, in the entire GD, which was good. You were slightly aggressive once when you started just speaking and on top of others. So try managing it.
Yes, sir.
वो एक
Sure, sir.
management तो यार is something which everyone struggles with. So try managing it. Try not coming
Sure.
off as aggressive. Right. Soumya, you spoke about this thing called a one-to-one session with the manager. And in my opinion, that again is something which literally there are subjects in B schools which teach you how to do that. Okay. The fact that you are already able to suggest that shows that you are an educated person, shows that you are aware, and shows that you kind of have a slight idea at least of how things work. You also were able to talk about that. Let's just get everyone together, have an idea, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe
Yes,
have a
sir.
discussion with the manager as well.
Yes, sir.
So there are ethics case subjects in MBA colleges, and these guys do teach these things how to do that. So that was a pretty great point. It's just that I would really prefer you speaking slightly more.
Okay, sir.
You had great points, but it was too far in between. A lot of people spoke in between. So maybe 3 or 4 entries with these kind
Yes,
of
sir.
points would do the trick with you. You have, long story short, you have the
Yes.
quality. I want you to have certain amount of quantity as well.
Got it, sir.
Got it? Okay.
Got it.
Manas
Yes.
had good enough points, man. You spoke about impact assessment.
Yes, sir.
Impact assessment is a term which we do kind of write in our examinations over here. तो अगर पढ़ा है तो बहुत अच्छा, पढ़ लेना थोड़ा बहुत यार,
Yes.
क्योंकि पूछ सकते हैं बाद में, तुम्हारा नाम नोट करके हो सकता है बाद में, ठीक
Yes,
है,
sir.
क्योंकि ये सब चीजें, I'm not sure if you've read it in some course of yours or wherever you come
So
across this term.
I was interning in Grant Thornton. So there I was in the financial risk department. So we had
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
these things they do teach.
Yes,
कि
sir.
क्या कैसे करना है, impact assessment कैसे करना है, 4 P's important, all those things. So that again shows that यार कीवर्ड यूज किया है, सही जगह पे यूज किया है, तो बंदा पढ़ लिख के आया है बेसिकली. Right. So that's a great swing first off, right? You spoke about behavior assessment as well.
Yes, sir.
फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बिहेवियर करके सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं जिसमें बिहेवियर असेसमेंट सिखाते हैं, which again shows that okay, बंदा कुछ ना कुछ पढ़ लिख के आ रहा है, अच्छी he basically has an idea. You spoke about long term effect, which is good. You had this interesting pointer where you
Yes.
took the discussion from the perspective of the manager as well, if I remember and understand correctly. कि भाई एक बार मैनेजर का भी तो जान ले क्या दिक्कत है, because everyone was like कि employees से बात कर लो ये है, but you were like कि एक बार let's try understanding the thing from the manager as well. Also, please note this down. In the initial thing what I said about the GDs कि कैसे अच्छा करना है GDs में, उसमें ही एक pointer ये add कर लो. If everyone is speaking for, try being against, unless it's a very obvious for topic. ठीक है? Let's say someone says that male and female representation should be equal in organizations. अब उसमें हर कोई for बोल रहा है, तो उसमें जाके against मत बोल देना, ठीक है? ये तो एक extreme example हो गया. But if someone is saying an example like this, now everyone is saying that okay, listen to the employees, let's try understanding what is the problem, let's try understanding how can we make it better for them. If let's say our Manas comes in and says that let's try understanding from the perspective of the manager as well. if he's unhappy, if he's not behaving in the best of his in the best of his behavior as possible, if he's having some problem, maybe we can solve that problem. Maybe we can train him in certain behavioral aspects, and maybe we can have him create a more just a better atmosphere around him, right? So that will show that okay, ye banda palat gaya. And it will really work for you if after that the conversation flips. This is a trick which I, by the way, use. Okay, if I can begin, great. If nothing happens, great. This is a thing which I always do. People start speaking about something, and at times I flip it, and I try making sure that the conversation flips after that. If that happens, I know ki main know. Okay, so if you can do that, that is great. That is a game changer, not just for Manas, obviously, for anyone who's doing it. Pankaj, you didn't have a lot of different points. You were kind of reiterating the points that was said. I would love it if you can not just talk, but talk about not just build upon others, but maybe try mentioning some point of yours own. I feel that you, because you started late in the GD, you felt that your points were already taken. So you didn't
Yes,
really
sir.
have too many of these original points. Was that the case?
Yes, sir. Yes. मेरे points बोले गए थे पहले GD में.
जो मैंने बोला था यार, मैंने डिस्कशन करने से पहले ही बोला था कि एक बार स्टार्टिंग में बोलोगे नहीं ना तो अपने पॉइंट्स निकल जाते, वो लगता है. So that was the only concern. I would really love it if you speak slightly more. I believe I've had one more discussion with you last time around as well.
Yes, sir.
Right. So yeah, if you remember the feedback at that point of time, and just remember the feedback at this point of time, try beginning. Please try backing yourself. Please try speaking. Dude, everyone is confused. जिस GD में जाके बैठोगे ना, उस GD में अगर साथ में 9 लोग होंगे, ऊपर से भले कुछ दिखा रहा हूँ, everyone is confused, everyone is scared. This is the truth which I'm telling you. Please do not get bogged down, and this is for everyone, right? Okay. Tanushka had a great line which she spoke about that a manager is nothing without his team, right? I was confused why was a pointer like that not brought up. So that is great, because she did mention that while he is a great performer, his revenue and everything is great, but अगर उसकी अपने team से नहीं बन रही है, that's not a great thing for the manager, and today or tomorrow he will fall. Okay, so this is something which, in my opinion, Tanushka spoke about. She also displayed leadership capabilities and leadership qualities in terms of asking people to be slightly quiet. So that was something which I believe would work in our favor. Just again, Tanushka, a couple of more. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So Tanushka, just a couple of more entries from you would be great. Okay. You also, the same thing which I said earlier, to that you also have a clarity and quality of thought. I want you to have some more quantity of the same thing as well. आप अच्छा चीज बोल रहे हो, but सिर्फ एक या दो बार बोल रहे हो, या थोड़ा 3-4 बार बोलो. ठीक है? That is the only thing. That is the only thing. Shubh spoke about, I believe, organization, and then Shubh, you trailed off. You were not able to complete your sentence. You came in very late in the GD as well. क्यों यार, कैसा क्या हुआ?
अच्छा, इनिशियली मैं 2-3 पॉइंट्स मतलब एक तो पहले बोल दिए गए थे, फिर जब तक मैंने सोचा तब तक एक ही पॉइंट मेरे दिमाग में तब तक आया था. फिर तो इट वाज ऑल अबाउट कि वी शुड जस्ट लाइक कंसिडर द जूनियर्स एंड इंटर्न्स their problem because it is affecting our organization's goodwill and also affecting our business. So,
I mean, see, okay, so I'll tell you something. Speaking or maybe reiterating a point is still better than not speaking at all. Getting it? Speaking about your original point is great. That is what you're supposed to do. But then mentioning your maybe building upon someone else's point is still better than not speaking at all. Got it?
yes, sir.
So even if you don't know nothing about the GD, try building upon someone else's point. And this also, I'll tell you, by the time I'm done with discussing with the people, someone please I'll remember it, but please remind me how to build upon someone else's point. How to basically reiterate a point. Okay, इसका भी एक तरीका होता है, इसकी भी एक strategy होती है. This I'll discuss once I'm done with discussing with everyone. Shubh, I would really love to hear more from you
Okay,
in the upcoming GDs. From just one pointer, it is very tough for me to give you a feedback, man. Okay, but then Paila say that okay, we'll have one more GD of 10 minutes at this point of time. I can from this conversation with you, the only thing which I feel, and please let me know if I'm wrong as well, as I am right always. What I feel is that you are getting bogged down by the people around you. कि यार वो लोग तो अच्छे बात बोल गया, मुझे दिमाग में नहीं आ रहा है. Is that the case?
I just feel मतलब थोड़ा दिक्कत होती है, जैसे बीच में कॉन्वर्सेशन चल रही है तो उसके बीच में in a very polite way, but still I have to say something in the middle of conversation. So
okay, I'll tell you a trick. Every living organism on this earth breathes. हर कोई सांस लेता है. Whenever we speak, it's not like we'll keep on speaking for 10 minutes. We will speak for 10, 20, 30 seconds, and then we'll have a slight pause to take a breath, right? And this is for everyone. Try looking at the person and try understanding कि यार ये अब सांस लेने वाला है. जो वो आधे सेकंड का पॉज मिले ना, start speaking. Got it?
okay.
I hope it's clear for everyone.
Yes,
As soon as you feel कि यार अब ना इसकी आवाज हल्की सी ट्रेल ऑफ हो रही है, अब ना इसका पॉइंट खत्म हो रहा है, धीरे धीरे आवाज की वॉल्यूम कम होती है जैसे जैसे पॉइंट खत्म होता है, धीरे धीरे स्पीच हल्का सा स्लो होती है, वो जो एंथुजियाज्म स्टार्टिंग में होता है हल्का सा वो कम होता है, और सब कुछ ही है ना, तब भी पता है कि यार ये आप एक सेकंड के लिए रुकेगा सांस लेने के लिए, because everyone has to breathe, man. No one can just keep on speaking for 10 minutes straight. Let's be honest. Wait for that opening. Start speaking. If you're still not able to do that, start speaking and just ask everyone. So, can I just have one specific, one very quick point, and then guys will take in your points as well. Request the other person. Let's say I am talking, and let's say Saurav is talking, right? On top of each other, blah 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 blah. Okay. So can I just have one specific pointer over here, and then I'll make sure that we come back to you as well, Saurav. I hope it's fine if I just have one pointer. यार मना नहीं करेगा सौरभ. वहां पे सौरभ ये नहीं बोलेगा कि नहीं मैं ही बोलूंगा तुम नहीं बोलोगे. ऐसे भले उसके मन में कुछ और चल रहा है, but वहां पे ये नहीं बोलेगा. 99.9% of the time the guy would be like, okay, you know, if it happens with you guys, that is the only thing we can do. You can never say that no, I'll speak. Don't do that. Okay, guy, please. Okay, man, please. Do something like that.
Okay.
पुश एंड एक दो बार प्रैक्टिस करोगे वो हो जाएगा, कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं. ठीक है. Harshita, the same thing for you as well, Harshita. Very few points in between. I am assuming this is the very first GD of you guys because Shubh is new with us as well. You are very new with us as well, right? I would not give a very detailed feedback, Harshita, right now, simply because you are slightly late in the GD. However, I would just maybe talk about a couple of people who are over here itself. Okay. They've given like 2, 3, 4 GDs and so on. I've seen, I guess, Nitya, I've seen in at least 2 or 3 GDs from online. Okay. I've seen Pankaj be there as well. Okay. Now these guys, as I guess they would attest as well, these guys were speaking comparatively lesser in the earlier practice version had. Now that they've gone through these iterations with these suggestions, they are able to work on it. Okay. So this was, guys, this was as in the new guys who are over here. This was the very first time you are in this cohort that you've given a GD, and it is okay to stumble the very first time because यार सीधी सी बात है ना, बाकी लोग 10 बार प्रैक्टिस करके आ रहे हैं, आप लोग एकदम बाकी लोग 10 बार सजेशंस सुन के आ रहे हैं, सेशंस करके आ रहे हैं, आप लोग थोड़ा नए हो, तो आपको 1-2 सेशंस लगेंगे टू बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि गेम क्या है. सिंपली पुट. ओके. स्पोर्ट को खेलते हो तो समझोगे यार कि अगर मैं 6 महीने तक क्रिकेट ना खेलूं, फिर एकदम से जाके मैं 130 किलोमीटर पर आगे की बॉल खेलूं, या टेनिस में एकदम से मेरे को रिटर्न करना हो सर्व, इट इज वेरी टफ टू रिटर्न दैट सर्व पहली बार में. बट वो 1-2 बार जब आई बी एबल टू कनेक्ट द बॉल विद द रैकेट, फिर मेरे को रिटर्न करना आसान है. यू गॉट इट? मैं क्या सिमिली ड्रॉ कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. However, you had a very small mention about point of continuation of a person, if I remember correctly. कि किस हिसाब से बंदा कंटिन्यू कर रहा है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, something like that.
So I basically said that if we do not take any action against him, then there will be problems. So just that.
ठीक है. हाँ, it's a good enough point. It's a great point. अब इसको see how can you build upon this. यू कैन से कि अगर हम एक्शन नहीं ले रहे हैं प्रॉब्लम्स, बट कैसी प्रॉब्लम्स? अभी ये बहुत ओपन एंडेड सवाल हो गया। यू कैन टॉक अबाउट कि पूरा कल्चर कंपनियां खराब हो सकता है। यार आज मैं एक मैनेजर हूँ, ठीक है, और मैं सबको गलत तरीके से ट्रीट कर रहा हूँ। मैं घर जल्दी चला जाता हूँ, ये मेरा रेवेन्यू ठीक है, लेकिन मैं सबको गाली दे काम करता हूँ, और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मेरे अगेंस्ट कोई एक्शन नहीं ले रहा है। कल को शुभ आया, शुभ, आई एम सॉरी, आई एम टेकिंग योर एग्जांपल। कल को शुभ आया, शुभ बोला यार मेरे को भी मन करता है डांटने का सबको यार, है अभी इस बंदे को तो कोई रिपरकशन हो नहीं रहा है, तुम अभी गाली दे के बात करूंगा सबसे। तो शुभ विल लर्न फ्रॉम दैट, राइट? अब इस तरह से कल्चर खराब होगा। ओके, so this is what happens. So this is maybe what you can talk about as well, that this will affect the culture of the organization negatively, and this is actually what starts a downward spiral. So from a rather generic point, you were able to build on something which showed that okay, this point से बंदी थोड़ा direct उसमें आ गई, जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना एक funnel, उसमें कि हल्का सा open उसमें आए, but kind of tailor it down as per whatever discussion it was, and then deliver the point that really you wished. Correct. There were a couple of people who did not speak at all. Harshit had nothing to say. If I'm not mistaken, Saurav did not talk about a lot as well.
Yes.
Is there anyone else I'm missing जिसने नहीं बोला? Guys, please raise your hands.
तो मैंने बस एक पॉइंट रखा था अपना, पर बीच में ट्राई करने के बोला था, पर बाकी लोग आ जाते थे पहले।
हाँ, it's okay. It's okay. Harshit, what about you? Are you on mute, Harshit? And you can lower your hands. It's okay.
Am I audible?
Hi, Harshit. Hey man, हाँ जी बताइए.
Sir, actually, I was trying to make an entry, but I was not able to make that.
Okay. So any other concern, Harshit? की अच्छा हाँ यार, एक और चीज है, ये चीज हो सकता है मैं बार बार ना बोलूं, बट आई वांट यू गाइस टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट ओवर हियर. आई वांट दिस ग्रुप टू हैव अ वेरी पॉजिटिव एटमॉस्फेयर. अगर यार मुझे कोई चीज नहीं आती है, मैं ओपनली बोल रहा हूँ, जिंदगी में जितनी गलतियां कर सकते हो यहाँ पे कर दो, जिससे वहां पे उस इंटरव्यू में या फिर उस जीडी में ना हो. ठीक है, डर लग रहा है, प्लीज बोल दो यार, अपन बात कर लेंगे. नहीं भी बोल पा रहे हो, प्लीज मुझे एक डायरेक्ट मैसेज ड्रॉप कर दो व्हाट्सएप पे कि यार आकाश मेरे को ना, मैं वहां पे बोल नहीं पाया, मेरे को ऑकवर्डनेस थी, बट मेरे को ना डर लग रहा है. और इट कैन बी एनीथिंग एल्स एज वेल. इट इज वेरी ह्यूमन टू बी स्केयर्ड. जैसे मैं आपको आज आके एक आईफोन दे दूं तो खुश हो जाओगे ना? हाँ, मैं लेट से जाऊं बड़े शुभ के पास कि यार मैंने ना तुम्हारा एक गलत एग्जाम्पल लिया और तूने हंस के ले लिया, तो ये ले आईफोन तेरे लिए, तो देख खुश हो गया. ठीक है, सो दिस इज अ ह्यूमन इमोशन. Human emotion is also being scared, being sad, not being able to speak. So primarily it is okay. Please bata do, we'll be able to handle it. Okay, so that's one. Harshit, I would look forward to having more conversations with you, man. Okay, people who have not spoken at all or very haven't spoken ekdam bhi, Harshit, Saurav especially, please drop me a text on WhatsApp. कुछ चीजें we'll discuss.
नहीं सर, डॉक्टर साहब मैंने
हाँ जी.
रोहित के बाद में तुरंत बोलना चाहता था, पर रिदम ने इंटरप्ट कर दिया. फिर मैं बोलना अपना पॉइंट चाहता था, फिर तनुष्का इंटरप्ट कर दिया. फिर उसके
किसने
बाद
इंटरप्ट किया?
तनुष्का.
Tanushka, why were you interrupting Saurav?
So I just started after Rohit. I was the second one to speak. I did not interrupt. I actually stopped when anyone was speaking in between.
उसके बाद
तो
से
यार
पंकज
Sir,
के
one
साथ
more
हुआ
thing,
था.
his voice was too
Saurav.
low.
Okay, who's Saurav?
So it was very easy to,
Yes,
speak upon.
Saurav,
ओके.
I'll give you a reason why. यार तनुष्का को भी सीट एक है, तनुष्का को भी चाहिए, तुम्हें भी चाहिए, तो यार वो तो एक कंपटीशन तो होगा ना यार. बड़े भले हेल्दी कंपटीशन हो इस ग्रुप में, प्लीज एक पॉजिटिव एटमॉस्फेयर रखना है. बट देन अगर बंदी के दिमाग में पॉइंट है और बंदी बोल पा रही है तो बोलेगी यार, उसमें कुछ गलत होता है.
सही
और
बात है
सेम तुम्हें
सर.
भी करना चाहिए. Again, do not be aggressive. I'm not asking you to be aggressive. Please understand, there's a fine line. But be assertive यार. अगर मुझे मिल गया कि यार इस बंदे का ना माइक हल्का सा ढीला है, आवाज धीरे आ रही है, बोलूंगा यार, और कुछ गलत नहीं है उसमें.
ओके सर.
समझ रहा है? ये
माइक
सब
ऐसे
प्लीज
करके
मेक श्योर
बोलूंगा.
यार. टेक्निकल, हाँ टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टीज भाई नहीं होनी चाहिए यार. ठीक है,
ओके सर.
एग्जाम क्लियर करके सब कुछ करके ये मत करना कि टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टी की वजह से बाहर हो गए.
sir, one
वाईफाई वगैरह.
question.
हाँ जी.
Sir, is it okay to wear earphones during the interview because it is more clear?
Yeah. आराम से. बल्कि it is suggested / advised to wear headphones. No
Thank you.
issues. ब्लूटूथ वाले यार देख लेना, मत यूज करना, मैं सजेस्ट नहीं करता हूँ बिकॉज कई बार उसका कनेक्शन ऑफ हुआ, बैटरी कम हो गई तो वो दैट्स अ प्रॉब्लम, दैट्स अ पर्सनल थिंग. बट मैं जनरली मैं एकदम देसी वाले ईयरफोन्स कैरी करता हूँ. आज भी मेरा इंटरव्यू होता है प्रॉपर, ठीक है, जो 3.5 mm ऑडियो जैक में कनेक्ट होता है, उससे बोलता हूँ, जिसका माइक अच्छा होना चाहिए, जिसका सुनने में अच्छा होना चाहिए.
तो
बाकी
उसका
वाले मैं इसको solve
माइक कौन सा है, ईयरफोन कौन सा है? तो मेरे पास ईयरफोन ऐसे ही है, बट मेरे आवाज क्यों नहीं जा रही, मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा.
मैं JBL वाला यूज करता हूँ यार, रेड कलर के हैं मेरे, देखना पड़ेगा कहाँ पड़ा. खैर अब तो प्लेसमेंट हो गया,
Keep your mic.
भाई डेलॉइट में
Yeah.
इंटर्नशिप करिए
आपको
यार.
खर्चा करना पड़ेगा भाई थोड़ा.
भाई
फीस ही भरी है MBA
बता
कॉलेज
दो
की,
कौन सा लेना है,
आते
ले
हैं उस पे
लेंगे.
आते हैं. फीस ही भरी है MBA कॉलेज की बाय द वे.
Right.
But anyway, so these were the basic conversations. I believe it's 10 already, right? I would drop you off for the day. I have a couple of more minutes to maybe answer any few questions that might remain. हो सकता है मैं किसी या कोई point miss कर गया हूँ. I am human as well. तो please let me know.
सर आपने बोला था कि आप एक चीज बताओगे कि हम बीच में लोगों के पॉइंट सुनकर अपना पॉइंट कैसे रखें.
मैंने क्या बोला था?
कि हम
To
सिर्फ
retreat, how to retreat the point.
अच्छा, बिल्ड कैसे करना है उस पॉइंट पे. ग्रेट. चलो, let's say Soumya spoke about this thing that there has to be a one-to-one session with the manager, right? What she did in the GD that was happening. अब यार मुझे लगा यार ये तो मेरा पॉइंट है, बंदी बोल गई, अब मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है. But then instead, rather than being silent about it, what do I do is, instead of just repeating that point, just to build more upon what she spoke about. Generally यहाँ पे हो सकता है नाम ना पता हो यार. Just to build upon what, because you might have your IDs or something, so that those are numbers. Just to build upon what she spoke about, what I feel is that one-to-one sessions with the manager can help in this way, or maybe can be a problematic thing in this way. So very smartly, while you are reiterating the point, you are still sounding different. Now please remember guys, this is a defense mechanism. नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, छूट गया तो होगा, ठीक है. Yeah, sorry. So that is what you're supposed to do. Just to build upon the point, just to refute the point, just to add my own opinion to that point. Maybe write these phrases down and use it over there if it works for you. Is how it's supposed to be. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Any other parting questions?
सर मेरे कॉलेज को लेकर डाउट है.
हाँ जी.
सर UBS चंडीगढ़ कैसा है?
यार ये बहुत पता है मुझे, पर्सनली बहुत डाइसी क्वेश्चंस लगते हैं, एंड आई विल टेल यू व्हाई. एक लखनऊ यूनिवर्सिटी में भी MBA होता है, ठीक है, सो आई एम फ्रॉम लखनऊ. एक लखनऊ यूनिवर्सिटी में भी MBA होता है, उससे तकरीबन, नॉट कमेंटिंग ऑन इट, बट 10-11-12 हज़ार महीने की नौकरी लगती है. एक IIM अहमदाबाद और IIM बैंगलोर से भी MBA होता है. उसके नंबर्स मैं आप लोगों को नहीं बताऊंगा, ठीक है, फॉर ऑब्वियस रीजंस. आप, बिकॉज आप लोगों को शायद मुझसे ज्यादा ही पता है. यार आप किस पे कंफर्टेबल हो is what defines the college, good or bad, right? 10,000 rupees a month might be great for some person. 2 lakh rupees a month might be, idiotic for some person, right? Which is why I said in the beginning, download placement reports of these colleges. पिछले 2 साल 3 साल, पिछले साल की तो कर ही लेना यार, otherwise पिछले 2-3 साल की. Just look at what exactly has their growth been like. Just look at what exactly are the kind of roles / organizations which are coming to these colleges. Ask yourself that, am I comfortable? Let's say the average is UBES, if I'm not mistaken, average is around 13-14 if I'm not mistaken.
Yes sir, लेकिन ROI अच्छा है सर. फीस.
हाँ, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ ना. अब ROI यार एक बात बताओ, बहुत लोग IIM अहमदाबाद या बैंगलोर छोड़ के FMS जाते हैं. ROI at the end of the day. तो ये है NMMS का चैलेंज क्या है, ROI. So ROI is a huge thing. But again, that's not the only thing. So if you feel कि यार ROI context में ठीक है, यार मेरे को ये role चाहिए, वो role मिल रहा है वहाँ पे, good enough, it's good enough for you. Someone else might come in and say कि यार मेरे को तो McKinsey में front end consultant का ही role चाहिए. So for him, anything below an IIM Bangalore or IIM Ahmedabad is useless. So it's a very personal call, man. And again, a point which I remembered just now, when you download the placement reports, you will be able to see average placement data, mean placement, all these क्या बोलते हैं, median salary packages
Median,
offered.
yes.
Calculate the growth that the college has had पिछले 2-3 साल में. मान लो 2020 में या 2019 में एवरेज 20 LPA था, ठीक है, 2023 में एवरेज 25 हो गया. कैलकुलेट कर लो कितना परसेंट ग्रोथ हुआ. ग्रेट पॉइंट. व्हाई दिस कॉलेज? सर इतने परसेंट ग्रोथ है. हाउ मेनी कॉलेजेस कैन टॉक अबाउट दिस परसेंटेज ऑफ ग्रोथ? ग्रेट पॉइंट. ओके.
Yes, sir.
If Rohit, that answers the question. ठीक है जी. हाँ जी. What else? We'll stop within the next 2 minutes unless more questions. Are we done? Okay, just one quick time more. For how many people is it the first session? I will speak directly to them right now. Just raise your hands, please, once again. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Saurabh is the first. 5. So guys, for 5 of you, this was the very first session. How this will work is that I want you people to and by the way, other people, if you wish to, you can drop off. I'm directly speaking to these people. If you want to wait for 2-3 more minutes, that's okay. It's totally your call. So guys, this is the very first session that you guys have had. I'm very sure you people had a couple of challenges in the GD. You people maybe were not able to understand 1 or 2 things over here. You people maybe felt कि यार ये बंदा तो ये चीज ऐसे बोल गया, वैसे बोल गया, थोड़ा सा तेज चला गया. सबसे पहली चीज, please let me or anyone else who's talking know whatever your concerns are then and there. मेरा सिंपल सा एक मोटिव ये है कि आपको अगर 5 कॉल्स आए MBA कॉलेजेस में से, तो आपका 80 to 90% कन्वर्जन होना ही होना चाहिए. Okay, you worked hard, studied, cleared examinations. Now you are on the final lap. You have to make sure that वो final conversion होना ही होना चाहिए. अब वापस से 1 साल ड्रॉप वाला केस नहीं होना चाहिए. पहली चीज. कैसे होगा वो? By being part of more and more of these sessions. Rows out, whatever your mistakes are, I will keep giving you feedbacks. I will keep giving you a couple of things. I have an Excel sheet over here, Microsoft Excel sheet over here, where I do mention the name of people, where I do mention whatever conversations I had with them last year, what was the feedback, what exactly is the current feedback. So to the best of my capabilities, I'm trying to draw a growth chart for you. Harshita, if you can be on mute, please. Thanks. So I'm trying to draw a growth chart for you people. However, no one can be as serious about your life as you guys are. Simply put, जितना सीरियस आप लोग अपने बारे में हो सकते हो, उतना सीरियस कोई नहीं, शायद माँ बाप हो सकते हैं, बट उतना सीरियस और दुनिया में कोई भी नहीं हो सकता है. Period. Okay. So please keep coming in most of these sessions. Please make sure that you are asking us questions as well and mapping your growth and letting me know or the person who is taking the session know कि यार मेरे को ना ये चीज नहीं समझ में आ रही, मेरे 3 सेशन हो चुके हैं, मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रही. I will make sure, we will make sure that you are able to understand that. Okay. Okay guys, please speak more यार. ज्यादा बोलो. आप लोगों ने कम बोला है इसमें. I'm not very happy with that. बोलो ज्यादा.
ओके सर.
सारी गलतियां करो बट ज्यादा बोलो. शांत मत रहो. शांत रहने के लिए नहीं यहाँ पे बैठे हो आप लोग. ठीक है? Okay guys, are we done?
Yes.
यस सर.
Thank you, sir.
गुड नाइट सर. थैंक यू.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect man. Have a very
Thank you,
good
sir.
night. चलो
Thank
जी.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Thank
You
you,
can
sir.
drop
Good
off.
night, sir.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yes.
Last thing,
दिव्या सर आएंगे क्या?
क्या हुआ भाई?
दिव्या सर आएंगे क्या?
नहीं
I'm
नहीं
waiting कि अपने आप ही खत्म हो जाए.
अपने आप नहीं होगा भाई.
Do you want me to call him? देवी सर को बुलाऊं क्या मैं?
No
नहीं
sir.
नहीं.
Akash sir,
Then
can
you
I
can
ask
drop
you
off यार.
some
You can.
questions if you are
Do.
available for 5 minutes?
अरे पूछना यार, तब से बोल रहा था क्यों नहीं
हाँ.
पूछा. हाँ.
Sir, you also had the like cap calls, right?
हाँ.
So sir, कल हमारा ना एक इंटरव्यू हुआ था. IIM त्रिची की यशस्विनी थी. तो उन्होंने हमारे ना पीआईस लिया था, बट वो जो पीआई का जो रेंज था ना वो बहुत ज्यादा ब्रॉड था, और उसमें हम
रेंज
लोगों
ज्यादा
ने मतलब रेंज ऐसा कि वो 12th भी आ गया उसमें, ग्रेजुएशन भी आ गया, पॉलिटिक्स भी आ गई, तो सब कुछ आ गया उसके अंदर।
ठीक है
ऊपर से जो हमने एक एस्पिरेशन बता दी कि आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन फाइनेंस, तो उस फाइनेंस पे भी आ गया।
ठीक
तो
है।
अगर मुझे इंटरव्यू में बोलना और वो में से एक स्ट्रीम पूछेगा तो मैं उसको कौन सी स्ट्रीम बोलूं और उसके लिए कैसे प्रिपेयर करूं?
कौन सी स्ट्रीम बोलूं? इंटरेस्ट,
क्योंकि
इंटेंडेड,
कल वाले इंटरव्यू
स्पेशलाइजेशन?
में 50% ऑफ द आंसर्स वर आई एम रियली सॉरी मैम, आई एम नॉट अवेयर ऑफ इट।
It's our job over here to keep poking you that you get uncomfortable and are not able to answer to an extent. अब बात क्या है ना, गलतियां पता चल गई, ठीक है, सेम सवाल अगर घूम कर आके आया तो कर लोगे एक्चुअल इंटरव्यू में। इसलिए वो इंटरव्यू इतना ब्रॉड था, इसलिए उस इंटरव्यू में इतने सवाल पूछे गए थे। सो दैट्स वन। ओके, सेकेंडली, इंटेंडेड स्पेशलाइजेशन, यू टेल मी, आई विल नॉट टेल यू, यू विल टेल मी तुम्हें क्या करना है, उसको कैसे आंसर मोल्ड करना है, समथिंग आई टेल यू। इंटरेस्ट तो आप बताओगे ना यार, क्रिकेट खेलने का मन है, मैं फुटबॉल खिला दूंगा, तो अच्छा तो ना कर लोगे।
No, so but she mentioned one thing that she had an interest in finance, but finance में इतनी सारी चीजें आती है ना कि उन्होंने फिर मार्केटिंग चूज कर लिया, मार्केटिंग बोल लिया, क्योंकि मार्केटिंग अराउंड दो तीन चीजें ही हैं जो उन्होंने सीख ली और बोल दी।
प्रीतम, इस पे मैं ग्रुप में बात नहीं करूंगा, इस पे यू नीड टू रीच आउट टू मी पर्सनली।
श्योर, थैंक यू।
इस पे क्योंकि मैं फिर ओपिनियंस अफेक्ट नहीं करना चाहता बाकी लोगों के, ठीक है। दैट इज अ पॉइंट, दैट इज अ पॉइंट, दैट इज अ वेरी वैलिड पॉइंट। बट इस पे मैं बात, इफ एनीवन एल्स हैज द सेम कंसर्न एज वेल, तो मेरे को एक टेक्स्ट ड्रॉप कर देना, इस पे अपन डिस्कस कर लेंगे, ठीक है। चलो गाइस, आर वी डन? एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस? देवेश सर को बुला रहा है? आई डोंट थिंक सो देयर इज एनी
No,
रीजन आई
no, sir,
कैन
no.
आई कैन ड्रॉप ऑफ। हाँ 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 आशिफ।
Sir, actually, I just want to ask one question that I have completed my graduation in 2019, and after that I joined my family business. Indirectly, like it's a story, not entirely, not for 5 years down the line, but like sometimes, for sometimes.
ठीक है, नहीं तो क्या,
So,
व्हाट्स द क्वेश्चन?
uh, I have completed graduation in 2019, and
ओके
it's 2024,
ओके
and I have joined my family business.
ओके।
बट नॉट फॉर फुल टाइम, लाइक कभी ज्वाइन किया, कभी छोड़ा, कभी ज्वाइन किया, कभी छोड़ा, ऐसा। एंड राइट नाउ आई डोंट हैव एनी पे स्लिप और समथिंग, जस्ट बिकॉज यू नो यहाँ पे ऐसा
फैमिली
कोई।
बिजनेस में नहीं होती है पे स्लिप।
हाँ,
आपके फादर का बिजनेस है तो पे स्लिप नहीं होती उसकी, ठीक है। फिर
तो इसको मैं जस्टिफाई कैसे करूँ?
ओन इट सर, फादर का बिजनेस था, मैंने हाथ लगाया पूरा टाइम, करीब पूरा टाइम कोशिश किया मैंने उसको उठाने का। पूरा टाइम मैंने कोशिश किया टू डू बेटर, बट जो ग्रोथ मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था वो नहीं हो रही थी, विच इज वाई एमबीए बाय द वे,
सॉरी।
विच इज वाई एमबीए, दिस इज
ओके,
आल्सो योर आंसर टू वाई एमबीए।
ओके। और बीच में मैंने एक बार बाइजूस भी ज्वाइन किया था फॉर 2021 और डेज के लिए, और बीच में मतलब 2020 में मैंने एक और कंपनी ज्वाइन की थी। तो ये सारा कोई मतलब ये सारी चीजें दिखाने की तो मुझे कोई जरूरत है नहीं, तो विल इट अफेक्ट और नॉट?
20 दिन का वर्क क्या दिखाएगा यार?
हाँ हाँ, वो तो दिखाना नहीं है, बट ऐसा कोई इफेक्ट तो नहीं करेगा? ओके
20 दिन का अफेक्ट जब तक आप बोलोगे नहीं, कैसे अफेक्ट करेगा?
ओके।
सीधी सी बात है ना, जो वीकनेस है आदमी छुपाने की कोशिश करता है, मत बोलो अनलेस यू मेंशन इट समवेयर। आई डोंट थिंक सो इट्स नीडेड। क्यों मेंशन करोगे? सर फादर का बिजनेस था, फैमिली बिजनेस में किसी को सैलरी स्लिप नहीं मिलती है, और सैलरी मिल रही तो फैमिली बिजनेस नहीं है, ठीक है। सो दैट्स ओके सर, काम किया, मेहनत करी, कोशिश करा उठाने का, जो ग्रोथ एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे वो नहीं है, ग्रोथ स्टैग्नेंट है सर, और इसीलिए आए हैं एमबीए करने। दैट्स इट। ओके यार, एकदम लास्ट क्वेश्चन।
So it was answered. Thank you.
Okay, guys, just one specific feedback from me and then we are done. So I have kept a bilingual approach, that is using English and Hindi both. Would you prefer me using English only, or were you okay and happy enough with this English and Hindi mix? What is your suggestion?
So everything is fine.
Yes, sir, it's quite good.
It's good.
Yes, sir.
Chalo, I hope the session was helpful. I hope
Yes,
I hope
sir.
you were able to get something from this. Okay. Okay, guys. I hope to listen more from you guys. Okay.
ओके
Thank you,
सर,
sir.
बाय बाय, गुड नाइट।
Chalo, you can drop off. Bye bye.
Finally we talk गया था in Delhi Pakistan.